Soft winds carry us across the sands of time, where whispers of sacred women echo in the temples of forgotten lands. Close your eyes and drift gently as we walk together through the stories of divine women, whose wisdom has soothed spirits for millennia. In these quiet moments, their teachings touch our hearts like a gentle river, flowing slowly, washing away the noise of the day. Each story is a soft lantern, illuminating the calm spaces within your soul. Let us wander through these sacred cults, not to study, but to feel, to let the serenity of ancient devotion cradle us into peaceful slumber. If these stories bring a gentle calm to your heart, let your presence be known. Comment softly where you are listening from, or subscribe to continue our journeys through time and spirit. We begin under the silver glow of the moon, where priestesses of ancient lunar cults whispered blessings for protection and serenity. Soft winds carry the sound of chants across sacred temples, inviting our spirits to rest. The night unfolds like a soft veil across the land. Moonlight spills quietly over still waters, touching each stone and leaf with gentle silver. Shadows stretch slowly, long and tender, as if the earth itself is taking a deep, slow breath. Somewhere far away, a temple rises from the earth, quiet and serene. Its walls are worn smooth by centuries, yet they hold a subtle glow, kissed by the light of countless moons. Along its pathways you drift, almost weightless. The air is cool, scented with jasmine and cedar, mingling in a perfume that settles softly in the chest. Each step echoes softly, not in sound but in feeling, like the tender pulse of the earth beneath your feet. The moon hangs low, watching, serene and unhurried. Its light brushes your skin, a quiet caress, whispering that all is calm. Inside the temple, shadows play among stone pillars. There, a priestess moves slowly, her robes floating like mist. Her hands are soft, her movements deliberate, and each gesture seems to breathe a gentle rhythm into the space. She is a keeper of whispers, a guardian of soft truths. Around her, candles flicker, their flames small but unwavering, echoing the pulse of the moon above. Each flame reflects a thought, a prayer, a silent wish carried on the wind. The priestess steps toward a shallow pool at the center of the temple. Water lies still and clear, reflecting the moon like a quiet mirror. She dips her fingers in, letting the cool touch ripple across the surface. Each ripple moves outward slowly, spreading in widening circles, as though carrying serenity to every corner of the world. You watch, unhurried, as the light dances on the moving water, and a soft warmth settles deep in your chest. Softly, the priestess begins to chant. Her voice is like a lullaby, low and steady. Words do not rush. They flow like a gentle river. Each syllable carries a blessing, floating over the temple walls and out into the night. The chant is not hurried. It does not demand anything. It is a soft offering meant only to ease the spirit, to invite a quiet peace. You feel your chest soften, your shoulders sink. The breath deepens, slow and tender, matching the rhythm of the priestess's voice. Outside, the world is hushed. Trees sway softly, brushing one another with the gentlest of winds. The night sky stretches endlessly, filled with quiet stars, each one a small point of memory and light. They twinkle softly, as if nodding in agreement with the blessings that drift from the temple. You notice the sound of distant water, a river or stream perhaps, winding its way through darkened valleys. Its song is calm, a subtle companion to the priestess's voice. The priestess moves again, this time lifting a small bowl of water to her lips. She murmurs another chant and the droplets fall back into the pool. Each drop is a tiny spark, a gentle kiss of light that ripples through the water. You feel the calm echo in your own chest, a soft tide moving through your veins. The temple seems larger now, its quiet halls stretching farther than the eye can see. Each step you take is lighter than before, as if your body remembers how to float. Above, the moon continues its slow journey across the sky. Its silver light shifts, tracing the outlines of the temple's arches, glimmering across the water. The priestess kneels beside the pool, her reflection perfectly still in the mirrored surface. She whispers a final blessing for the night, for the travelers of the earth, for the animals that sleep under trees, for the restless minds that need quiet. Each blessing falls like soft rain, gentle enough to be felt but never disturbing. And as she moves to stand, the temple seems to breathe with her. Walls exhale a gentle warmth, the candles sway ever so slightly, and even the moonlight seems to pulse with a quiet heartbeat. It is a rhythm that does not demand attention, only invites rest. You find yourself sinking a little deeper into the quiet, as though the air itself has become a soft blanket around your shoulders. The priestess steps toward the outer courtyard. Here the temple opens to the night sky fully. Stars are scattered like soft whispers across the heavens, and the moon rests heavy and gentle, casting a silver path over stone and grass. She raises her hands and slowly circles them downward, as though drawing the moonlight into the earth. Tiny motes of light shimmer in the air, delicate as dust, and you feel a similar shimmer within your own mind. Thoughts quiet, leaving space for calm. A soft wind moves through the courtyard, brushing against the priestess's robes and through your hair. The scent of jasmine drifts again, mingling with the smell of damp stone and soft earth. Each inhalation feels like a soft prayer answered, a gentle reassurance that everything is as it should be in this quiet night. The world is at peace, and so are you. In the distance, a bell rings. Its tone is low and tender, echoing across the valley and softening as it moves. Each vibration carries a whisper of serenity, a gentle reminder that night is for rest, and rest is sacred. You feel your eyelids grow heavier with each chime, not because of tiredness, but because your spirit is soothed, cradled in the gentle arms of moonlight and prayer. The priestess kneels again by the temple's edge, this time touching the grass with her fingertips. She traces patterns slowly, as if painting the night with her hands. Each pattern seems to breathe. It rises and falls like a quiet song. The soft rhythm spreads outward, mingling with the stars, the river, and the cool night air. You float with it, each breath a wave of calm, each heartbeat a soft drum beneath the skin. Shadows drift with the wind, blending the stone of the temple into the darkness of the surrounding forest. Owls call softly, their voices low and musical, adding another layer to the night's quiet symphony. The priestess hums softly, and the sound carries through the trees like a gentle echo. You notice the tiny movements of the earth, a leaf swaying, water trembling, stars flickering. Everything is alive but still, a perfect calm held in motion. As the night deepens, the priestess closes her eyes and bows her head. Her presence feels like a soft mantle covering the temple and the night with peace. Even the moon seems to linger longer, its silver glow bathing everything in tenderness. You feel yourself drifting closer to sleep, carried by the rhythm of chanting, wind, and water. Now, in the quietest moments, there is only the gentle sound of breath and heartbeat. Thoughts fade like clouds passing over the moon. Your mind floats freely, untethered, as if you are moving with the wind itself. The temple recedes into shadows, yet its warmth and serenity remain, echoing softly in the spaces behind your eyes. The priestess whispers a final blessing, unheard but deeply felt, a wish for safe journeys through dreams, for hearts to find rest, and for the spirit to remember its own calm. You feel this blessing settle softly, a delicate weight that is comforting, not pressing. The night embraces you fully, moonlight reflecting quietly in your dreams. Softly, your breath slows, your chest rises and falls with gentle ease. You drift among stars along the river of moonlight, cradled in the priestess's serenity. Every shadow becomes a soft companion, every ripple in the water a lullaby. Let the night hold you, and let the calm settle deep into your spirit. Let us drift onward, slowly, softly, as the moon arcs across the sky and the temple hums its quiet song. Rest now as the stars return to their places, and the moonlight priestess watches over you. Sleep is near, gentle and kind, carrying you through the night with peace that lingers long after dawn. Drifting through the deserts and jungles, we meet the serpent goddesses whose wisdom intertwined with nature. Their subtle teachings guide us to embrace transformation and quiet patience. Night falls softly across the land, wrapping the deserts in a gentle hush. Sand ripples like water beneath the moon's pale gaze, each grain catching the light for a brief, tender moment before settling back into stillness. Far beyond, the jungle exhales, leaves brushing together with the gentlest touch, carrying the scent of damp earth and hidden flowers. Somewhere between sand and green, in the quiet folds of earth and shadow, the serpent goddess waits. She is not seen all at once. She moves like mist, curling along roots, sliding beneath leaves, coiling softly in the spaces where the sun's warmth once lingered. Her eyes hold the depth of still waters, the patient silence of stones, and the quiet pulse of life itself. You drift closer without thinking, guided by something tender, a feeling rather than a voice. Each step through the forest and across the sand is slow, deliberate, and weightless. A soft rustle passes overhead. Birds settle quietly into branches, their calls hushed by the gentle night. Tiny insects hum their lullabies near damp riverbanks, a soft chorus that echoes the heartbeat of the earth. And then, near a small clearing, you notice her, veiled in shadows and silver light. She stretches in a coil, each movement fluid, each breath a whisper of patience. The serpent goddess is not rushing. She has no need. Time itself seems to pause around her, allowing you to drift into the same quiet rhythm. Around her, the jungle and desert merge seamlessly. A palm leaf brushes the sand. A cactus blossoms among ferns. Water from a hidden spring trickles gently, carving soft patterns into the earth. The serpent goddess slides toward the pool, her scales shimmering faintly in the moonlight. Each ripple of her motion spreads calm, echoing outward until it touches the stones, the plants, the night sky itself. You feel this calm move through your body, as though the earth itself is breathing through you. She lifts her head slowly, tilting it toward the moon. A soft hiss, almost like a sigh, escapes her lips. It is not frightening. It is a sound of patience, of wisdom unhurried. You notice how her gaze lingers on the water, on the leaves, on the shadows dancing in the wind. There is a rhythm here, a quiet teaching. Transformation is natural, like the tide, like the coiling of her body, like the slow growth of roots beneath the soil. In the shadows near the pool, small animals gather. A fox pauses at the edge of moonlight, its fur catching the silver glow. A frog croaks softly from a lily pad, blending into the gentle hum of the night. All movements are calm, unforced. The serpent goddess watches without judgment, and you realize that patience is a quiet offering, not a command. You feel your own thoughts soften, slowing with the rhythm of the night, slipping into gentle arcs like her flowing movements. The goddess coils around a stone altar, her body a living sculpture. She lifts a small, smooth shell from the earth and sets it in the water. The ripple carries her intention outward, across the pool, and you feel it in your chest as a gentle warmth. Every ripple is a reminder that change can be soft, almost imperceptible, and yet profound. Transformation is not sudden. It does not demand noise. It moves slowly, like water over stones, like sand shaped by wind, like the moonlight that brushes the leaves in tender caress. Above, the moon travels steadily across the sky. Its light filters through branches and fronds, scattering in tiny, delicate patterns across the earth. Each pattern seems to move with a soft intelligence, mirroring the serpent goddess's own fluid motions. You notice how shadows bend and stretch, not sharply, but with a gentle grace. Each shadow is a teacher, a reminder that even darkness can be tender. Even silence can speak. The goddess begins to move again, her body weaving through roots and reeds, her head tilting to watch the creatures around her. Frogs leap softly into the water, lizards rest on warm stones, and the night itself seems to lean in closer, listening. She hisses again, softly, and the sound travels like a gentle bell, vibrating in the cool night air. It is a song, without words, yet full of meaning, a lullaby of patience and quiet change. Small motes of light begin to appear in the clearing, like floating fireflies, each one pulsing with soft energy. The serpent goddess raises her head toward them, and the light seems to bend toward her, as if drawn by the calm she radiates. You watch, still and breathless, feeling the same calm wrap around your mind like a soft blanket. Each mote of light is a thought settling into peace, each pulse a heartbeat slowing to match the rhythm of the night. The goddess glides to a low branch above the pool and curls around it with elegance. Her scales shimmer, reflecting the moon and stars. She lowers her head to the water and drinks gently. Each sip sends tiny ripples across the surface, and each ripple spreads outward, touching the edges of your consciousness, reminding you to let go. Let go of worries, let go of noise, let go of haste. All is quiet, all is soft, all is moving with the natural rhythm of life. A distant drum echoes faintly through the jungle, not harsh or urgent, but steady and warm. It is as if the heartbeat of the earth itself has begun to play in the background. The serpent goddess listens, swaying ever so slightly, and you notice your own body responding, rocking gently, soft and unhurried. Each breath deepens, each exhale releases tension. You feel lighter, like the wind carrying soft leaves across the sand and water. Around the clearing, vines hang heavy with dew. They glisten in the moonlight like silver threads, stretching between trees and stones. The serpent goddess winds along them carefully, not disturbing the quiet, but becoming a part of it. There is a slow poetry in her movement, a soft lesson. Every coil, every breath, every quiet motion carries its own grace. You realize that transformation is not only what the goddess embodies, but what the night itself offers. Gentle change that does not demand, only invites. Soft wind brushes the surface of the pool. Tiny ripples carry reflections of stars, the moon, and the serpent goddess herself. You float in this reflection, your mind merging with the calm water. Thoughts rise and fall like ripples, soft and quiet. Nothing is urgent, nothing needs to be fixed. Everything moves as it should, slowly, tenderly, with patience that stretches across centuries, whispering the quiet secrets of the earth. The goddess lowers herself to the sand, coiling beside a patch of wildflowers that sway in the cool night. She hisses softly, a sound that blends with the gentle rustle of leaves, the far-off trickle of a stream, and the subtle pulse of the distant drum. You feel the calm wrap around your shoulders, your chest, your heart. The world becomes a soft cradle, and you realize that patience is not waiting. It is a gentle unfolding, a breathing space for the spirit. Above, the stars move slowly across the sky. Their light brushes the earth, the trees, and the serpent goddess. Tiny fireflies drift in the air, their glow faint but steady. Each flicker feels like a soft heartbeat, like a quiet blessing. The goddess raises her head to the moon again, a final acknowledgement of its steady light. And you feel a connection, subtle and profound, to everything around you, the water, the earth, the air, and the gentle wisdom that flows through the night. The night stretches and bends, wrapping the desert and jungle in one seamless embrace. You drift further into the rhythm of the goddess's movements, the wind, the water, and the soft pulse of distant drums. Each breath becomes slower, heavier with peace. Every muscle in the body softens, releasing into the night. The serpent goddess watches with patience, her presence a calm beacon, her slow movements a lullaby for the soul. As she coils finally around the pool, the night deepens. The moon hovers high, bathing the clearing in silver, while stars scatter their quiet light across the sky. You feel a gentle pull, as if the night itself is rocking you, moving you with tender care. Thoughts drift away, leaving only the rhythm of your breath, the hush of the wind, and the soft pulse of the earth beneath you. The serpent goddess whispers a final hiss, soft and lingering, carrying a blessing across the sand and water. You feel it in your chest, a subtle warmth that spreads slowly, filling every corner of your being. Transformation is gentle, change is patient, and the night, like the goddess, is here to cradle you, to carry you softly through the quiet hours until the first light of dawn. Let us drift onward now, with the serpent goddess curling softly beside us, with the moonlight washing gently across skin and stone. Let your breath slow, your mind soften, and your heart rest in the stillness. The desert, the jungle, and the moon all watch quietly, offering peace without demand. Now rest as the stars return to their places, and the goddess's quiet wisdom wraps around your dreams. Flowing gently along the sacred rivers of ancient lands, we observe how women presented gifts to the divine. Each ripple carries their prayers, and each stone whispers of devotion and calm. The night is soft, wrapped in silver and shadow. Moonlight rests lightly across the surface of a slow-moving river, tracing each curve and ripple with quiet care. The water glows pale, like liquid light, and the sounds it makes are gentle. A soft murmur, a tender sigh against the smooth stones. The air carries the fragrance of wet earth and wildflowers, a scent that settles into the chest with the quiet grace of an old song. Along the riverbank, soft reeds sway with the breeze, brushing against each other in a sound like whispered conversation. Tiny waves ripple across the surface as if the river itself is breathing. And there, among the reeds and flowers, women move slowly, carrying baskets woven from grasses and vines. Their hands are steady, their motions deliberate. Every step, every gesture carries reverence and calm. The first woman kneels at the edge of the river, her bare feet sinking slightly into the damp sand. She lifts a small clay bowl filled with water and gently pours it into the river. The water ripples softly, sending tiny circles outward that touch the stones and reeds. Each ripple is a silent prayer, a gentle wish for safety, peace, and quiet joy. You float beside her in thought, feeling each ripple brush against the edges of your mind like a soft caress. Another woman lays flowers on the water's surface. Petals drift slowly, spinning in gentle eddies, glowing faintly in the moonlight. The river carries them onward without hurry. Each petal seems to hum softly with devotion, a reminder that giving is gentle and tender, and that even the smallest gesture carries meaning when offered with care. You notice the rhythm of her hands, the slow rising and falling of her breath, and you match it unconsciously, letting your own body soften. A third woman scatters small stones along the riverbank. Each stone is smooth and warm from the sun's memory. She sets them carefully, one after another, and each rests with quiet dignity. The river touches them lightly, murmuring around their edges. You feel that each stone carries its own song, a quiet note of stability, grounding and calm that spreads across the river and into your own chest. Above, the night sky stretches wide and tender. Stars are scattered across it like gentle sparks of memory, each one reflecting softly on the water. The moon hangs low, a quiet sentinel, its light a silver thread connecting river, earth, and sky. Occasionally, a breeze moves through the trees, bringing with it the faint rustle of leaves and the distant call of a night bird. The sounds blend seamlessly, forming a lullaby of wind, water, and whispered devotion. You notice a soft glow rising from the river itself, subtle and warm. Tiny motes of light float above the surface, drifting alongside the petals and the stones. The women reach out occasionally, letting the lights brush their fingers, as if the river itself is responding to their offerings. Each movement is slow, measured, gentle. You feel the rhythm of the river in your own chest, a soft tide moving with your breath. A woman lifts her hands to the sky, releasing a small wreath of leaves and flowers into the river. The wreath drifts away, spinning slightly in the current, and carries with it a whispered prayer for health, for calm, for protection. You watch the slow journey of the wreath, its circular motion like a quiet meditation. The river carries it steadily, without rush, teaching patience in its silent passage. Along the bank, shadows deepen and stretch, creating spaces of quiet sanctuary. The women sit together, weaving garlands and gently placing them on the water. Their voices hum softly, a quiet chant that drifts into the night air. The words are not sharp or urgent. They are long, soft notes that rise and fall like the gentle swell of the river itself. You feel the sound wrap around your shoulders, settling your thoughts, easing every tension. The river flows over smooth stones, each one whispering with the soft friction of water. Tiny fish stir beneath the surface, moving gracefully in arcs and circles. You watch them without need to follow, allowing your mind to float freely. Each ripple, each movement, becomes a slow rhythm that matches your own breathing. The water hums a lullaby of devotion, transformation, and gentle care. The moonlight brightens in patches, glimmering across the surface as if the river carries stars along with it. Every reflection, every shimmer, feels like a blessing. The women continue their offerings with quiet attention, and the river seems to respond, curling lightly around their hands, amplifying their calm. You feel a warmth rising slowly within your chest, spreading like soft sunlight through cool air. A small bird lands on a nearby branch, ruffling its feathers in the gentle breeze. Its tiny call blends with the river's hum and the soft chants. Even the smallest creature feels connected to the quiet devotion here, moving slowly, without haste. You notice the subtle way the river bends around each stone and petal, and it reminds you that life itself flows in soft, deliberate curves. Nothing is forced, nothing is hurried. One of the women dips her fingers into the water and lifts them slowly, letting droplets fall back into the river. Each drop creates a ripple. Each ripple expands outward, and you sense a soft pattern emerging, a rhythm of giving, receiving, and letting go. The river teaches that offerings need not be grand. Even the smallest gesture carries a resonance that echoes far beyond what can be seen. You feel your own spirit settle into this quiet pattern, matching its slow, gentle pulse. The night deepens further. Shadows stretch over the riverbank, but there is no darkness here, only a soft embrace. The moon reflects across the water in a long silver path, and the women's movements glide in harmony with it. Each gesture becomes a meditation, each breath a small wave in the river's gentle flow. You feel a sense of belonging, a sense of ease, as though the river itself has invited you to rest. Tiny insects hum in the reeds, adding their soft chorus to the river's lullaby. The women close their eyes for a moment, letting the night and the water carry their prayers. The river responds, carrying offerings downstream, letting the petals and leaves drift naturally. You sense the calm in every part of your body, a warmth in your chest and a softness in your limbs. A single candle flickers on the riverbank, placed carefully on a flat stone. Its light dances on the water, reflecting petals, stones, and the soft forms of the women. The flame is steady, never rushing, never flickering too sharply. It is a quiet companion, a reminder of devotion that does not demand attention, only invites calm. You feel the same steadiness within yourself, a soft heartbeat of peace. The river curves gently around a bend, carrying offerings out of sight, yet the calm lingers in the clearing. You notice the way moonlight glances off the petals and stones, creating tiny sparks of light that drift on the water's surface. The women's chants fall quieter, blending seamlessly into the night. You breathe slowly, letting the rhythm of water, wind, and soft voices guide your mind toward rest. The goddess of the river seems present in every ripple. She moves quietly in the reflections, her form barely seen but deeply felt. She gathers the calm, wrapping it around the offerings, around the women, around you. Her presence is soft, protective, and gentle, teaching patience and quiet transformation. You feel yourself lifted slightly as if floating along the river, carried gently by currents of light and devotion. A final ripple travels across the water, touching the edges of the riverbank, brushing against the stones and reeds. The women bow their heads softly, releasing one last offering, letting the river carry it into the night. You sense the calm spreading wider, beyond the clearing, beyond the river, touching the forests, the deserts, the quiet skies. Each ripple is a whisper, a gentle reminder that devotion is soft, that change is tender, and that the world moves slowly and kindly. Now, the river flows in quiet silver arcs, carrying petals, stones, and prayers into the unknown. The women rise slowly, their movements unhurried, blending with the night. You feel your own body sink deeper into rest, matching the gentle pulse of the river. Breath follows breath, ripple follows ripple, until the mind floats freely, untethered and calm. Let us drift onward, carried softly along the river of sacred offerings. Let the moonlight, the gentle water, and the whispered prayers cradle you. Now rest as the stars return to their places above, and the river carries serenity through the night. Under the night sky, star mothers illuminate hidden temples. Their constellations become soft stories of hope, resilience, and the gentle nurturing of human souls. The night spreads slowly, a dark silk draped across hills and valleys. Stars begin to flicker softly, tiny points of silver and gold that seem to breathe alongside the earth. The air is cool and still, carrying the subtle scent of night-blooming flowers and distant rain. Somewhere ahead, a temple rises quietly, hidden in folds of the forest, as if it had grown from the earth itself. Moonlight touches its stone walls, making them glow faintly, like a secret kept for those who wander gently through the world. You float along a path lined with soft moss and ferns, each step silent, weightless. The leaves rustle softly with the night wind, carrying whispers from the forest. Above, constellations begin to form, stretching across the sky like a delicate web of light. Each star seems to shine with intention, soft and steady, as though telling a story without words. You feel the stories brush lightly against your mind, settling thoughts like feathers on calm water. At the temple's entrance, a soft glow emanates from within. Candles line the walls, their flames small and unwavering, dancing lightly in rhythm with the cool night air. A woman, a star mother, steps from the shadows. Her robe flows like liquid silver, catching the moonlight and the candlelight at once. Her eyes are calm pools, reflecting the stars above, reflecting patience and quiet care. She does not speak, yet you feel her presence as a gentle invitation to rest. She moves slowly through the temple, her hands brushing over carved stones, tracing ancient symbols. Each touch seems to awaken a soft light within the carvings, a glow that moves across the walls like a river of stars. You drift closer, carried by a quiet current of curiosity and calm. Each breath you take slows to match the rhythm of the Star Mother's movements, rising and falling in gentle harmony with the night. Inside the temple, small pools of water lie still. The reflections of the stars shimmer on the surface, mingling with the glow of candlelight. The Star Mother kneels beside a pool, lifting her hands as though gathering the light itself. Tiny ripples form, spreading outward slowly, each one carrying a soft energy of hope and protection. You sense that every ripple is a story, small, delicate, and yet infinitely significant. Around the temple, shadows weave together with light. Stone pillars etched with faint celestial designs stretch upward, reaching toward the sky. The Star Mother moves along them with grace, her fingertips tracing constellations carved into the stone. Each constellation tells a tale, a story of courage, of kindness, of quiet strength. You feel the stories brushing against your spirit, settling into corners of your mind where soft, gentle dreams take root. Outside, the wind stirs faintly, leaves rustle like soft silk, brushing against one another in quiet conversation. A distant owl calls softly, and the echo drifts across the temple grounds. The night is alive but unhurried. Each sound feels like a note in a lullaby, a melody that rises gently, then falls away, leaving calm in its place. You float among these sounds, feeling the tension in your body soften, release, dissolve. The Star Mother carries a small lantern, and her light moves along the temple floor like a gentle stream. Dust motes float in the air, catching the glow and drifting lazily like tiny stars brought down from the heavens. She pauses by a carved altar, placing her hands gently upon it. You feel her intention, peace, serenity, gentle guidance, settling quietly in your chest. Every breath you take mirrors hers, slow and steady, a tide of calm flowing softly inward. Outside, the sky is now filled with more stars, each one brighter, each one holding a story. The Star Mother gazes upward, and for a long moment you imagine the constellations shifting subtly in her presence, aligning to tell a message meant only for gentle ears and soft hearts. Her eyes trace each line in the heavens, tracing courage, hope, and the quiet resilience that resides in every soul. You feel these stories touch your own heart, small lights kindling where stress and worry once lived. She steps toward a small balcony, opening her arms to the night sky. The wind moves through her robe, carrying with it a subtle fragrance of jasmine and cedar. The temple seems to inhale with her, a soft pulse of energy spreading across the stones and into the surrounding forest. You notice your own breath mirroring this pulse, rising and falling, slow, steady, calm. The night, the stars, the temple, and the Star Mother all exist together in a quiet harmony, and you are held within it. Tiny fireflies begin to drift along the temple grounds, their glow delicate and warm. The Star Mother moves among them, her hands passing gently over their light. The fireflies hover and drift, responding to her presence, forming soft patterns in the air like whispers of long-forgotten blessings. You watch them, entranced, feeling each flicker touch a corner of your mind where calm and stillness grow. A soft bell rings somewhere deep within the temple. Its tone is low and tender, resonating across the stone floors, over the pools, and through the trees outside. The bell does not hurry. It does not demand attention. It is a sound that asks nothing, yet offers everything. You feel it in your chest as a warm vibration, echoing softly, reminding you of the gentle rhythm of the universe, the quiet consistency of night, and the soft guidance of the Star Mothers. The Star Mother kneels again by a pool, placing a small bowl of water upon the stone. She lifts it slowly, tilting it to catch the moonlight. Tiny ripples form in the water, and each one carries her intention, a wish for protection, a blessing of serenity, a soft promise that the night will guard those who seek rest. You feel the ripples extend outward, touching your heart, softening the edges of thought, lulling every muscle into calm. Around the temple, shadows stretch long and gentle. The moonlight dances across leaves and stone, and each reflection seems to carry a whisper of ancient wisdom. The Star Mother moves among these reflections, pausing to trace her fingers lightly along the water, the stone, the air itself. Her movements are a slow poem, unhurried and tender, teaching patience and quiet care. You sense the same rhythm taking root in yourself, a slow, steady current of peace flowing through your body. Outside, the forest breathes softly, branches sway, rustling in time with the gentle pulse of the temple. Crickets hum, and a distant river sings a lullaby. The Star Mother lifts her head to the sky, letting her gaze linger on a constellation that shines brighter than the others. It is a tale of resilience, of hope, of nurturing spirits that stretch across time. You feel it in your chest as a warmth, a light that spreads through every quiet corner of your mind. She moves toward the temple doors, her steps soft and deliberate. Each footfall carries the echo of devotion and quiet guidance. You drift alongside her, feeling the temple expand and contract like a living being. Every wall, every pillar, every pool seems to breathe with her presence, holding you in a calm embrace. The air is fragrant, the shadows soft, and every sound is a gentle note in the lullaby of the night. The Star Mother pauses once more, gazing at the night sky. Stars shimmer across the heavens, constellations forming soft stories that reach into eternity. She lifts her hands in a final gesture, a blessing carried across the temple, across the forest, across the rivers, and into the hearts of those who wander gently in the night. You feel the blessing touch you, a gentle warmth that settles deep into your chest, softening every thought, every tension, every small worry. Now, the temple hums quietly with the energy of calm. The pools reflect the moon and stars, the candles flicker gently, and the Star Mother moves like a soft shadow among them. You feel yourself drifting with her, carried slowly along the currents of light, air, and water. Each breath becomes lighter, each heartbeat steadier, each thought quieter. Let us drift onward, through the silent halls, past the pools, and out into the night sky. Let the stories of the Star Mothers wrap around you like a warm blanket, their constellations guiding your spirit with gentle care. Now rest, as the stars return to their places above, and the temple of quiet wisdom cradles your dreams in tender light. Soft, distant voices guide seekers through the corridors of fate. Oracles of ancient cults taught us to listen to the quiet stirrings of intuition and the soft cadence of destiny. The night stretches quietly, a dark, velvet sky scattered with pale, steady stars. The air is cool, carrying the subtle scent of myrrh and soft incense from hidden temples. A faint wind rustles through the trees, whispering gently across the leaves. Somewhere beyond the hills, a distant river murmurs, a lullaby of water and stone. You float along a narrow path, guided by the soft glow of lanterns that sway in time with the night's breath. Ahead, a temple emerges from shadow, its walls carved with spirals and symbols that seem to pulse faintly in the moonlight. The air here feels different, thicker with quiet anticipation. You feel a gentle tug at the edges of your consciousness, a whisper calling softly, inviting you to enter. As you step closer, each footfall is absorbed by soft moss and worn stone, and the world seems to grow hushed, as though it is holding its breath for the oracles who dwell here. Inside, the temple opens into a long hall lined with flickering torches. The flames cast shadows that dance lightly across the walls, revealing carvings of women and serpents, of moons and stars, of quiet gestures that carry deep meaning. The echoes of soft voices reach you from the far corners of the hall, drifting like incense smoke, carrying messages that are not spoken but felt. You float through the hall, each step slow, each breath steady, as if moving with the pulse of the place itself. In the center of the hall, an oracle sits on a low stone platform. Her robe shimmers in pale silver, and her eyes are pools of calm, reflecting the torchlight and the constellations above. She does not speak aloud. Her guidance comes in the soft cadence of breath, in the gentle turn of her head, in the subtle curl of her fingers. You feel her attention, warm and steady, as though she is drawing your spirit closer without words, without demand, only quiet invitation. Around her, symbols of past seekers and offerings lie scattered, small bowls of water, feathers, stones polished smooth by hands that reached out with intention. Each object hums softly in the torchlight, a quiet resonance of devotion, of questions asked and answered in silence. You notice how the soft ripples of movement across the hall, an incense smoke curling, a lantern flickering, echo the gentle movements of thought within your own mind, slowing it, smoothing it, guiding it toward stillness. The oracle rises slowly, her body fluid, each motion deliberate and unhurried. She moves toward a pool at the center of the hall, its water reflecting torchlight and stars in equal measure. Her hands hover above the surface and the water ripples gently, carrying the faint vibrations of unseen voices. Each ripple spreads outward, brushing against the walls, the pillars, and the quiet corners of your awareness. The room feels alive, yet it is soft and gentle, like a lullaby carried on warm air. A faint voice drifts from the far end of the hall, almost imperceptible, as if carried by the wind itself. It is not a voice of words, but of feeling, a gentle tug at your heart, a soft pulse of intuition. You sense it in your chest, a slow rhythm that matches the subtle sway of the oracle's body and the quiet rise and fall of your own breath. The hall seems to breathe with you, inhaling and exhaling with patience and calm. The oracle reaches into a small bowl of water, lifting a few droplets to her lips, then tilting her head back so that they fall back into the pool. Each droplet sends a small, delicate ripple outward. You watch the water expand and contract, noticing how the ripples overlap and merge. They remind you that the echoes of destiny are never hurried, never forced. They move in gentle arcs, touching everything in their path softly, quietly, and with intention. Beyond the pool, faint carvings trace stories along the walls. Each figure seems alive in the torchlight, their gestures soft and meaningful. One shows a woman lifting a lantern to the sky, another a figure holding a small vessel of water. These depictions move slowly in your vision, guiding your gaze and your thoughts into a gentle rhythm. You float alongside these images, allowing them to wash over your mind and smooth every sharp edge of thought. From a balcony above, moonlight pours in like pale silk. The oracle tilts her face upward, and for a moment, the moonlight seems to settle on her shoulders and hands, blessing each movement. You feel a subtle warmth radiate across your chest, the quiet assurance of being seen and guided. There's no urgency here, no push or pull, only the gentle cadence of the universe, inviting you to notice, to breathe, and to rest. The soft hum of incense fills the hall, curling around pillars and pooling in corners. Its fragrance is light, a mixture of earth and air, of memory and presence. Each breath of it seems to carry a whisper, a memory of all those who came before, all who asked questions in silence and listened to the soft stirrings of their own hearts. You sense your mind expanding, floating in the quiet resonance, your thoughts now drifting gently like leaves on a still pond. The oracle kneels beside a small carved altar, her hands moving over it slowly, tracing symbols you cannot name but feel. The stones beneath her fingers seem to pulse lightly, responding to her touch. You watch, mesmerized, feeling your own pulse slow in tandem with the subtle vibrations. Each gesture is a reminder that guidance is never rushed. It moves in its own time, soft and deliberate, shaping understanding in quiet, steady waves. A soft drum begins in the distance, its beat low and unhurried, echoing through the corridors of the temple. The sound rises and falls like a tide, a gentle rhythm that matches the ripples of the pool and the sway of incense smoke. You feel it in your chest, steadying your heartbeat, calming your thoughts, encouraging you to sink deeper into stillness. The drum carries no demand, only gentle presence, an affirmation of patience and quiet awareness. The oracle moves toward the pool again, lifting a small lantern. Its glow touches the water, scattering reflections across the walls and ceiling. Each reflection dances slowly, a gentle play of light and shadow. You notice how the patterns shift imperceptibly, teaching you that answers, like light, often arrive softly and quietly, in forms you may not immediately recognize but which carry their own truth. Small birds perch on carved ledges, their feathers catching moonlight and torch glow. They chirp quietly, almost blending into the soft hum of the hall. The oracle watches them with calm attention, as if noticing the subtleties of life is itself a meditation. You feel the same awareness settle into you, a quiet noticing of your own breath, your own heartbeat, the slow unfolding of the night around you. Above, the ceiling opens to a small window where stars spill like liquid silver. The oracle tilts her head toward them, letting their light fall across the pool and the altar. Tiny ripples of water reflect the stars, creating a mirror that seems infinite. You gaze upon it and feel a subtle expansion in your chest, a recognition that guidance and intuition are vast, subtle, and patient, echoes that move through time and space with calm certainty. The voices return, soft and distant, brushing against your ears like wind through trees. They carry no urgency, only suggestion, a gentle urging to listen without expectation. You feel your mind surrender to their rhythm, thoughts softening, worries dissolving, muscles releasing into gentle weightlessness. The echoes of the oracle teach that destiny is not a hammer, but a soft touch, not a rush, but a flow. The oracle kneels once more beside the pool, placing a small vessel of water upon the stone. She tips it gently, letting the water spill into the pool. Ripples spread slowly, overlapping and fading, creating patterns that feel like soft instructions written by the night itself. You breathe with the motion, inhaling calm, exhaling tension, letting the gentle cadence of the water guide your spirit to stillness. All around, the temple seems to hum quietly with energy. Shadows stretch softly, torches flicker, and the incense curls in slow spirals. The oracle sits again, serene and patient, her gaze touching you with a quiet awareness that requires nothing, expects nothing, and offers everything. You feel your chest expand and soften simultaneously, a tide of calm carrying you along the currents of intuition and gentle guidance. Now the hall grows quieter. The distant drum slows, the birds settle, the incense drifts to a gentle rest. The oracle's presence lingers like a soft light behind your closed eyes. You feel the echoes of the temple, the pool, the lantern, and the moonlight swirl together, a gentle symphony of calm, patience, and quiet insight. Let us drift onward now, carried by the soft ripples of the pool, the gentle voices of the oracle, and the slow, steady rhythm of night. Let your mind soften, your breath lengthen, and your spirit rest. Now sleep as the stars return to their places above, and the echoes of wisdom cradle your dreams in tender serenity. In hushed spaces, women wove threads that symbolized life, fate, and divine connection. Each pattern tells a story, drawing our minds into gentle contemplation and stillness. The night is soft, a dark velvet sky stretched over hills and quiet valleys. Stars glimmer faintly, scattered like tiny lanterns hung by unseen hands. A gentle wind stirs through tall grasses and hidden pathways, carrying the faint fragrance of jasmine and cedar. Somewhere beyond, a river murmurs over stones, soft and low, as though keeping the secrets of the night. You float along a narrow path, the earth beneath your feet gentle, welcoming, absorbing every step until a small light appears ahead, flickering softly in the darkness. The light comes from a small temple, modest in structure, its walls etched with symbols that glimmer in the glow of lanterns. The air is thick with quiet reverence. You drift closer, noticing the faint scent of dyed threads and soft cloth carried by a gentle breeze. Inside, the room opens to a low, expansive hall where women move slowly, deliberately, over long looms. Each hand motion is measured, soft, a rhythm that seems older than the hills themselves. Their hands pass threads over and under, weaving stories into patterns that stretch like gentle rivers across the fabric. The weavers do not speak. Words are unnecessary here. Their movements are language enough. A slow, deliberate conversation between thread, hand, and spirit. You float between the looms, noticing the colors, soft creams, muted blues, deep silvers that catch the lantern glow. Each thread seems to hold a memory, a whisper of intention, a small blessing for those who will encounter it. You feel your own breath slow as your gaze follows the delicate arcs of thread, the rhythm of weaving carrying your thoughts into calm. One weaver pauses, her hands resting lightly on the woven cloth. She lifts her head, and her eyes meet yours. Calm pools reflecting candlelight and starlight together. In that quiet exchange, you feel a gentle warmth settle into your chest. You understand without words that each movement, each choice of thread, is an act of devotion, a gentle shaping of the unseen, the threads of fate that touch every life. Your own mind softens, your thoughts unraveling like the delicate threads before you, settling into quiet stillness. The threads themselves seem alive, carrying faint glimmers of energy. Silver threads shimmer like moonlight across deep blues and soft purples. Earth-toned strands hum quietly beneath your gaze, steady and grounding. The weaver lifts a single thread, drawing it over a loom with a gentle motion. The sound is soft, almost imperceptible, the faint whisper of cloth brushing against wood. You lean closer, listening with your spirit as well as your ears, feeling the rhythm seep into your own pulse, slow and steady, comforting and calm. Above, lanterns sway slightly in the night breeze. Their light catches the threads in subtle ways, creating tiny sparks that seem to leap from one weave to another. Patterns emerge, circles within circles, spirals, and gentle arcs that suggest rivers, stars, and constellations. You drift among these shapes, noticing how each one seems to mirror something inside yourself, a small echo of calm, a trace of serenity, a memory of hope. The weaving becomes a meditation, the movement of hands and thread a lullaby for the mind. In the quiet, you hear the faint brush of fingers over the loom, the soft hiss of threads stretching and settling. There is no rush here, no urgency. Each motion has space, time, and intention. The weaver lifts a strand, intertwining it with another, a small knot forming in perfect rhythm. The pattern grows slowly, patiently, revealing its story, one thread at a time. You notice how your chest rises and falls with the movements, your breath matching the cadence of each gentle weave. Around you, other threads hum with quiet resonance. One cloth carries a subtle shimmer of silver, like moonlight caught in water. Another glows with deep amber, as if holding the warmth of a quiet sunset. The weavers work together without words, their motions synchronizing into a soft, collective rhythm. Each thread touches another, interlacing in ways that remind you of connection, of the delicate balance of life, fate, and unseen guidance. You feel your mind float along these interwoven paths, softening and slowing with every careful gesture. A gentle fragrance drifts through the hall, a mixture of dyed cloth, faint incense, and the natural scent of the night carried in through open windows. You inhale softly, letting the smell carry you deeper into stillness. The patterns on the looms shimmer faintly in the light, revealing subtle figures, stars, waves, a crescent moon, a winding river. Each shape is a story, told without words, inviting you to listen with the quiet part of yourself that knows without needing to understand. The weaver nearest you pauses and lifts a strand of gold. She passes it through the weave slowly, deliberately, her fingers brushing it gently into the fabric. The thread catches the light, shimmering with the faintest warmth. You notice your heartbeat slowing, softening, matching the rhythm of her gentle motion. The gold thread seems to carry a message that even the smallest gesture of care, of attention, is a blessing that spreads softly through the world. The loom hums quietly, a soft vibration that seems to extend beyond the room. It touches the walls, the floor, and your chest. You feel yourself becoming part of the rhythm, your mind unwinding like a length of thread. The air is warm and still, carrying the faint whispers of all who have woven before, their intentions flowing into the patterns and settling into the soft folds of the fabric. You float, weightless, letting the gentle energy of the hall wrap around you like a soft shawl. Soft candlelight flickers across the threads, casting moving shadows on the walls. Each movement of light changes the patterns, revealing new shapes in subtle, slow succession. You notice a spiral forming, then a circle, then the suggestion of a river winding through the weave. Each form is temporary yet eternal, a quiet reminder that life, like thread, moves in arcs and loops, in gentle patterns that echo softly through time. The weaver lifts her hands, fingers brushing lightly over the cloth. Tiny ripples pass through the weave, subtle movements that carry intention and care. You feel each ripple pass through you, softening tension in your shoulders, easing the tightness in your chest, quieting your mind. Each gesture is deliberate, a slow poem written in thread and motion, and you drift deeper into calm, each breath steady, long, and easy. Outside, the wind stirs softly, brushing leaves against one another in quiet conversation. You hear the distant call of a night bird, faint and unobtrusive, blending with the gentle hum of the hall. The world beyond the temple feels vast, still, and infinitely patient. Each sound, each movement, each shimmer of thread is a reminder that life unfolds at its own pace, with care and with attention to quiet beauty. You rest in this knowledge, letting it fill every quiet corner of your being. The weaver moves toward a small window, holding a completed cloth. Its threads shimmer softly, reflecting the light of stars outside. She lifts it, letting it catch the moonlight fully. You notice the subtle patterns within, a tapestry of circles, spirals, and arcs that seem to mirror the sky itself. The threads carry the calm of centuries, of hands that worked slowly and patiently, of intentions placed softly into the world. You feel your own mind settling, following the rhythm of care and attention, softening into quietude. Around the room, the other weavers continue their slow, deliberate work. Their hands glide over threads, creating new shapes, new stories, new patterns of intention. You float between them, carried by the rhythm of their motions. The air vibrates softly with the gentle energy of creation, a slow, measured pulse that reaches into your chest and eases your heart. Each breath becomes a thread, weaving you into the fabric of stillness and calm that fills the room. Finally, the weaver places the finished cloth on a low stone altar. She rests her hands lightly on it, eyes closed for a long moment. The threads shimmer faintly, as if breathing, carrying with them the energy of patience, care, and quiet devotion. You feel the same energy settle across your shoulders, your chest, your mind. Every thought softens, every muscle releases, and the quiet rhythm of the temple enfolds you like a warm, protective blanket. Now the room is calm, the threads still, the lanterns soft, the night gentle and embracing. The weaver sits quietly, watching her creation, and you feel the story of the threads resonate within your spirit. The patterns, the movements, the gentle energy, they are all part of a larger harmony, a rhythm of life and care that asks nothing of you except to breathe and be present in quiet stillness. Let us drift onward through the soft patterns of the threads, past the warm glow of lanterns, and into the night sky beyond the temple. Let your breath lengthen, your mind soften, and your spirit rest, cradled by the gentle rhythm of sacred weaving. Now sleep as the threads of care and devotion settle around you, and the quiet energy of the weavers carries your dreams into gentle serenity. Flickering candlelight in hidden shrines reveals the subtle presence of the divine feminine. We drift along corridors of soft illumination, feeling peace and quiet devotion. The night is calm, stretching wide and deep above hills and valleys. The sky is a soft velvet, sprinkled with stars that glimmer faintly, like scattered lanterns hung by unseen hands. A cool breeze moves through the trees, carrying the faint scent of sandalwood and jasmine. Somewhere water murmurs over smooth stones, a gentle, distant lullaby. You float along a narrow, winding path, guided by small, flickering lights that appear one by one, soft and warm against the darkness. Ahead, a shrine emerges from shadow, modest yet radiant. Its walls are low, etched with gentle carvings of circles, spirals, and crescent moons. Lanterns sway slightly in the night breeze, casting moving shadows that stretch softly across moss-covered stones. The air here is thick with quiet reverence, each breath carrying a faint whisper of devotion and serenity. You approach slowly, each step light absorbed by soft earth and gentle moss beneath your feet. Inside, the shrine opens into a small hall lined with candles. Their flames flicker in gentle rhythm, casting long shadows and soft pools of light that dance across carved walls. The air is warm, scented with beeswax, incense, and the faint trace of flowers. You drift among the candles, each one a soft point of presence, a quiet sign of prayer, care, and attention. The shadows they cast sway like slow dancers, gentle and deliberate, guiding your gaze, your breath, and your thoughts toward calmness. At the center of the shrine, a figure sits cross-legged, hands folded in quiet devotion. Her robe shimmers faintly in the candlelight, a soft glow like moonlight on water. She does not speak, yet her presence carries warmth and calm. You feel the subtle pull of her attention, gentle and patient, drawing your spirit into the quiet rhythm of the space. Each flicker of candlelight seems to echo her heartbeat, slow and steady, inviting you to match your own breath to this rhythm of stillness. Candles line narrow corridors branching from the hall, each corridor a path of soft illumination. You drift along them, noticing the subtle variations of light and shadow, the way each flame wavers yet holds its glow. Some candles are tall and steady, their flames reaching upward as if in quiet prayer. Others are small, flickering softly, dancing in gentle arcs. Each one tells a story, a silent offering, a gentle presence of devotion that moves without demand. The figure rises slowly, moving among the candles with deliberate care. Her hands hover over each flame, letting them catch her attention and her presence. A soft hum drifts through the air, almost imperceptible, blending with the subtle crackle of burning wicks. You feel the hum in your chest, a quiet resonance that soothes, steadying your thoughts, calming your heart, and letting your mind float in gentle stillness. Soft shadows play across the walls, revealing carvings of women in quiet gestures of prayer, of offering, of care. One figure holds a small vessel, tilting it gently as if pouring invisible water. Another lifts her hands toward the sky, a gesture of silent surrender and trust. You drift along these shadows, noticing how each movement is soft, deliberate, and unhurried, echoing the rhythm of the candlelight and the slow cadence of your breath. A gentle fragrance rises from a small altar, mixing with the warm wax of the candles. The scent is subtle, comforting, a blend of earth and air, of memory and intention. You inhale slowly, letting it carry you deeper into calm. The flickering lights reflect in your eyes, soft and golden, and you feel the same warmth settle across your shoulders and chest. Your mind eases, each thought releasing its grip, floating gently in the presence of quiet devotion. The figure moves to a low table where small offerings are placed. Each one, a flower, a bowl of water, a tiny candle, carries a message of care, a gentle blessing. She lifts a small candle, lighting it from the flame of another, and places it carefully upon the table. The glow spreads softly across the surface, illuminating the offerings in a warm, gentle light. You feel your heartbeat slow, your breath lengthen, and your spirit settle in the quiet grace of the scene. Around the shrine, faint carvings trace stories along the walls. Spirals, circles, crescents, and arcs suggest rivers, stars, and quiet gestures of care. You drift along them, noticing how each shape carries a subtle message of calm, of attention, of presence. The flickering candlelight makes the carvings shimmer, reminding you that guidance and devotion are often soft and quiet, arriving gently and without force. The figure walks slowly among the candles, letting her fingers brush their flames without disturbing their balance. The light wavers and flickers, shadows shifting in response to her gentle touch. You notice the delicate interplay of motion and stillness, how the flames bend and sway without falling, how the shadows stretch and recede in soft waves. You feel your mind mirror this rhythm, thoughts rising and falling, easing into quiet, steady calm. A faint breeze moves through the shrine, carrying with it the subtle scent of night flowers and warm wax. The flames dance lightly, casting tiny moving constellations upon the walls. You drift through these constellations, following their gentle arcs, noticing how each flicker holds a quiet intention, a soft echo of devotion. Your spirit feels lighter, rising with the gentle movements of light, shadow, and breath. The figure pauses beside a small pool of water at the far end of the shrine. She tilts a candle, letting its flame reflect upon the surface. The water ripples slightly, sending delicate reflections across the walls and ceiling. You notice how the reflections move slowly, soft and deliberate, a gentle mirror for your own mind to follow. Your thoughts unwind like threads released from gentle hands, flowing into quiet calm. The candles lining the hall flicker in unison, a soft chorus of light. The figure kneels before the pool, her hands resting gently on the edge. She closes her eyes, and for a long moment the shrine is still, except for the quiet dance of shadows and flames. You sense the presence of all who came before, all who offered prayers in silence, and the gentle energy they left behind. It flows through you now, soft and steady, settling into the quiet corners of your being. Soft hums of devotion rise and fade, blending with the distant murmur of water outside. The shrine seems to breathe with you, inhaling calm, exhaling tension. Every candle flicker, every gentle shadow, every slow movement is a lullaby, guiding your mind to rest. You feel the quiet energy wrap around you, a gentle cloak of peace, letting every muscle relax, every thought soften. The figure rises once more, moving slowly to each candle along the hall. She lifts a candle and tilts it gently toward another, letting flames meet and touch without rushing. Each light joins another, spreading warmth and illumination. You feel your chest expand softly, the calm of the shrine flowing into your heart. Each flame is a small heartbeat, steady and slow, carrying patience and devotion. Around you, the shadows shift like whispers, revealing faint forms. A hand lifted in quiet blessing, a bowl held delicately, a soft arch of a figure in contemplation. You drift among them, noticing the gentle storytelling in each motion. The shrine is alive, yet calm, every gesture deliberate, every flicker intentional, a soft meditation of devotion and peace. Finally, the figure moves to the center of the hall. She lifts a single candle high, letting its flame illuminate the entire space. The light spreads across the walls, pooling gently on the carvings, the altars, the offerings. You feel the warmth wash over you, settling into every corner of your body and mind. The shrine is quiet, full of soft light, stillness, and gentle presence. Now, let us drift onward, carried by the soft glow of candles, the slow rhythm of devotion, and the quiet grace of the shrine. Let your thoughts settle like gentle shadows on the walls, your breath lengthen like the flickering flames, and your spirit rest, cradled by the tender light. Now sleep as the hidden shrine holds you in its warm, gentle embrace, and the quiet devotion of the night carries your dreams into soft serenity. Soft winds carry the fragrance of long-forgotten gardens, where goddesses once walked. Their teachings bloom quietly, teaching us patience, growth, and inner serenity. The sky stretches wide above the horizon, pale lavender and soft indigo blending together as twilight settles. The air is still, save for a gentle breeze that stirs the long grasses and curls around the edges of broken stone pathways. You drift along one such path, feet light on soft earth, inhaling the faint scent of moss, wildflowers, and distant rain. Each step is quiet, each breath slow and steady, guiding you toward a garden that time seems to have preserved for moments of stillness. The entrance appears softly, framed by tall, weathered stone pillars. Vines twist and climb, carrying tiny blossoms that open in the fading light. You float through the archway, feeling the air grow warmer, gentler, as if the garden itself recognizes your presence. The fragrance deepens, subtle yet unmistakable, carrying whispers of life, of care, of hands that once tended these spaces with devotion and love. Within the garden, paths wind lazily between small groves of trees and flowering bushes. Petals fall gently, landing on stones and soft moss, making a carpet of color in muted pinks, creams, and lilacs. You follow a narrow path, noticing how the breeze carries a faint rustle, like the quiet steps of beings unseen. Perhaps the goddesses linger here still, in spirit, in memory, teaching through silence and presence. A small fountain appears at the heart of the garden, its water clear and still. The surface mirrors the twilight sky, reflecting stars that begin to appear, faint and patient. You drift closer, kneeling by the edge, and notice the water ripples softly, as if stirred by invisible hands. Each ripple carries a gentle rhythm, a heartbeat of the garden, a reminder that even in quiet, growth continues and life flows patiently. Without hurry, the shadows stretch long across the paths, forming intricate patterns beneath the low branches. Each shadow seems deliberate, like a soft message etched into the garden itself. You notice the subtle carvings along the stones, faint spirals, circles, and arcs that suggest cycles of growth and return. The goddess's presence seems embedded in every detail, quiet and guiding, like a lullaby for the mind. A gentle wind lifts fallen petals, sending them swirling in lazy arcs across the garden. They drift slowly, brushing against your arms and shoulders, delicate as a whisper. You watch them float, noticing how each one is unique, yet each follows the gentle pull of the air, the unseen rhythm of the garden. Your breath lengthens, slow and steady, following the dance of petals and shadow. Your mind quieting, folding into calm. In one corner, a grove of olive trees stands tall, their leaves catching the last glow of twilight. Between the branches, faint figures seem to move, goddesses at rest, tending flowers, tracing patterns in the soil, or offering gentle gestures of blessing. They do not speak, and yet their energy flows outward, soft and steady, a balm for every restless thought. You drift closer, feeling the warmth of their presence, the patient rhythm of their care. Along the garden paths, small alcoves appear, each holding remnants of offerings, bowls of water, simple flowers, tiny carvings in stone. The items are old, worn by time, yet they still carry the gentle energy of intention, of devotion, of careful attention. You float among them, noticing how each item radiates calm, how each is a reminder that love and care, even quiet and subtle, leave traces that endure through time. A soft song begins to hum in the distance, faint and unhurried, like the murmur of wind through the branches. Perhaps it is carried by the garden itself, or by the memory of goddesses who walked these paths. The sound settles over your chest, a gentle vibration that matches your heartbeat, slow and steady. You breathe with the rhythm, each inhalation and exhalation, a thread woven into the stillness of the garden. The air shimmers faintly where moonlight touches the petals, and you notice the gentle play of light across surfaces. Stones, leaves, water, each shimmer seems alive, carrying the quiet teachings of the goddesses. Patience, presence, resilience. You float among the light and shadow, feeling your mind soften, every tension dissolving like morning mist. Near a small archway, ivy and jasmine grow thickly, and you sense an unseen presence guiding your path. You drift beneath the arch, feeling the air cool and scented with the faintest sweetness. On the other side, a quiet glade opens, soft grass underfoot and small flowers nodding gently in the breeze. The scene feels timeless, as if the garden exists in a place untouched by the rush of the world, a sanctuary for those who seek calm and gentle guidance. A solitary figure appears near the center of the glade. Faint and luminous, robed in colors of the earth and sky, she kneels among the flowers, hands tracing soft patterns in the soil. Her gestures are slow and deliberate, a meditation in motion, each movement carrying the energy of attention and care. You drift closer, feeling the quiet warmth of her presence, the soft hum of her devotion wrapping around you like a gentle cloak. The figure lifts her hands to scatter a handful of petals into the air. They rise, caught in the breeze, floating and spinning in soft arcs before settling gently onto the ground. You follow each petal with your eyes, noticing the calm in their motion, the patience inherent in their descent. Your thoughts mirror their path, rising and falling in slow, deliberate waves, releasing tension and finding ease. Around the glade, the wind rustles the leaves and branches, a soft chorus of whispered guidance. The goddess's teachings seem to live in the smallest details, the careful tending of flowers, the gentle ripple of water, the steady glow of moonlight. Every element is a reminder that growth, patience, and serenity require time, gentle care, and quiet presence. You breathe deeply, letting these teachings sink into your mind, your heart, your spirit. A small stream runs through the garden, water flowing quietly over smooth stones. You follow its path, noticing the gentle glint of moonlight on its surface. Each ripple carries the memory of life, of small blessings offered and received, of devotion without urgency. You float alongside, your own thoughts slowing, drifting like leaves on the water, carried softly along the currents of calm. In one corner, ancient statues of goddesses rise among flowers and vines, worn smooth by time yet still luminous in presence. Their faces are serene, eyes closed in quiet reflection, hands held in gestures of blessing. You drift among them, feeling their calm radiate outward, settling into your shoulders, your chest, your mind. Each statue is a gentle reminder that patience and presence leave traces, small yet enduring, like light reflected on water. The scent of jasmine and earth grows richer as night deepens, carrying the energy of quiet devotion. The wind hums softly through the trees, brushing your skin with gentle caresses. You notice the subtle light of fireflies appearing among the flowers, tiny points of shimmer dancing lazily in arcs and curves. Each one is a quiet story, a flicker of guidance, a reminder of gentle attention and presence. You drift toward a small stone bench beneath a flowering tree, its branches heavy with blooms that tilt gently toward the ground. You sit, letting the soft earth support you, letting your spine relax. The petals fall slowly around you, carried by the wind, brushing softly against your skin. You breathe in the calm of the garden, feeling it fill every quiet corner of your being. The luminous figure rises again, moving slowly along the paths, her hands brushing lightly over flowers and leaves. She pauses beside a small pool, tilting her hands over the water, letting ripples spread outward in perfect arcs. You watch the ripples expand, feeling each one resonate in your chest, softening tension, easing the tightness of thought, carrying you deeper into serenity. The garden seems to breathe with you, inhaling calm, exhaling peace. Every flower, every leaf, every ripple of water mirrors the rhythm of your own breath. The night air wraps around you like a gentle shawl, carrying the subtle presence of goddesses and their patient teachings. Your mind drifts, soft and open, carried by the quiet energy of the space, safe and still. Now, let us drift onward through the deserted garden, past the soft glow of moonlight on petals, along the gentle ripples of water, and beneath the quiet presence of luminous goddesses. Let your breath lengthen, your thoughts soften, and your spirit rest in the patient, enduring calm of this sacred place. Sleep now as the garden holds you in its gentle embrace. and the teachings of growth, patience, and serenity settle softly within your soul. Within circular temples, women chanted softly, connecting sky, earth, and spirit. We feel the vibrations ripple through our consciousness, easing tension and inviting sleep. Twilight rests gently across the land, brushing the edges of distant hills with lavender light. You walk along a soft, winding path, your footsteps quiet on moss and fallen leaves. The air is cool, carrying faint hints of incense, earth, and the faint sweetness of blossoms from unseen gardens. With each breath, your chest rises slowly, your mind softens, and you feel the gentle pull of a sacred circle just ahead. The temple emerges softly through the dim light, a perfect circle of stone and timber open to the sky above. Its walls are smooth, worn by countless hands over time, etched with delicate carvings of celestial patterns and looping spirals. You float toward the entrance, noticing how the twilight casts long, gentle shadows across the ground, shadows that seem to sway and bow as if greeting you. Inside, the air carries a hum, subtle and steady, like the heartbeat of the world itself. Soft beams of moonlight fall through circular openings above, tracing quiet patterns on the stone floor. The walls seem to vibrate slightly, responding to a sound you do not yet hear, a sound that feels familiar, like memory, like a lullaby. From the center of the temple, soft chanting begins. The voices are low, melodious, weaving together in a slow rhythm that carries warmth and calm. Each note hums through the air, settling gently around you, passing over shoulders, brushing along arms, easing tension with invisible hands. You float to the center of the circle, letting the vibrations settle in your chest, matching the pulse of your own breath. The women who chant are calm, serene, their eyes closed in devotion. Their voices rise and fall with the cadence of the earth, moving like a gentle tide. You notice the soft sway of their bodies, the rise and fall of their hands, tracing circles and arcs that mirror the sacred geometry around them. Their presence is a gentle reminder that the world moves in cycles, and that calm and care are found in rhythm and attention. Around the circular temple, faint symbols catch the light, stones set in arcs, tiny carvings of stars and moons, petals scattered carefully along the path. Each element carries intention, placed with reverence. You drift along the edges of the circle, letting your fingers brush lightly over the smooth stones, tracing the shapes with your eyes and mind. Each touch, each glance, carries a quiet message: patience, presence, serenity. The chanting deepens, low and resonant. It flows through the temple like water, pooling softly around your feet, rising gently into your chest, filling every quiet space in your mind. You breathe with it, inhaling slow, steady breaths that follow the rhythm of the sacred circle. Thoughts rise and fall like leaves on a gentle current, softening, dissolving, leaving only calm. Outside, the night wind moves lightly through the open spaces, rustling leaves and carrying distant scents of earth and flowers. The sound blends seamlessly with the chanting, forming a harmony that wraps around you, cocooning your senses. Each note and each rustle seems deliberate, gentle, like a lullaby composed by the earth itself and sung by hands both human and divine. At the center of the temple, a small fire burns in a shallow stone basin. Its flame flickers slowly, its light mingling with moonlight and casting soft shadows across the chanting women. You drift closer, noticing how the firelight reflects in the curves of the carvings, making the patterns seem to dance. The shadows sway in harmony with the chants, creating a living tapestry of light, shadow, and sound. You sit on the soft stone floor, legs crossed, back straight yet relaxed. Your eyes close gently as the vibrations of the chants travel through your body, starting at your feet, rising through your legs, into your chest, and finally reaching the crown of your head. Each breath matches the rhythm, slow and steady, each exhale releasing any lingering tension. You feel the circle's energy expand around you, embracing you in soft, protective waves. The chanting women raise their hands, tracing arcs in the air, their fingertips leaving faint trails of light, barely perceptible, yet you feel their presence in the subtle warmth of the air. The patterns of their movements mirror the sacred shapes of the temple. The spirals, the circles, the soft curves of stone and shadow. Each gesture is deliberate, careful, a meditation in motion, drawing your awareness inward and inviting peace. The temple seems alive in response. The stones hum, the fire flickers in gentle arcs, the wind carries whispers through the arches. Every sound, every movement, every breath is in harmony, creating a world that exists only in stillness, in devotion, in calm. You float within it, letting your mind settle into the slow, deliberate flow of presence. Softly, a bell chimes in the distance, far beyond the walls of the temple. Its sound is light, carrying across the courtyard and through the circular openings above. The vibration resonates in your chest, a gentle pulse that blends seamlessly with the chanting. You breathe with the sound, letting each note travel through your body, softening the muscles of your shoulders, easing the tension in your jaw, relaxing the space behind your eyes. The women continue to chant, their voices forming overlapping layers, like gentle waves washing over smooth stones. You notice the subtle differences, the tiny variations in pitch and tone, each adding depth to the harmony. The air feels thick with quiet intention, each note a thread weaving a tapestry of serenity around you. You drift within the weave, letting it carry your mind into a deeper state of calm. Petals float in through the open arches, lifted by the night breeze. They drift slowly, landing softly on the stone floor and in the small fire basin, where they curl briefly in the warmth before settling. Each petal seems a tiny offering, a quiet gesture of care, a reminder that even the smallest acts carry meaning. You watch them, inhaling their subtle fragrance, letting the presence of intention fill you with ease. The circle expands in your awareness. You sense not only the physical space of the temple, but also the invisible currents of energy that rise through it. Each chant, each breath, each gentle movement of hands or petals is part of a larger flow, connecting earth, sky, and spirit. You feel this connection within your own body, a quiet bridge linking you to the calm pulse of the sacred circle. A soft, cool breeze moves across your face, carrying the faint scent of jasmine and earth. You inhale slowly, letting it fill your lungs, and exhale gently, releasing all tension. The chanting continues, gentle and unbroken, creating a steady rhythm that guides your consciousness like a slow, winding river. Your mind follows the flow, thoughts softening, floating, and dissolving in the calm. The fire at the center flickers, sending tiny sparks into the night. They rise, vanish, and leave trails of light in the darkness like fleeting whispers of guidance. You watch their path, letting your mind follow the gentle arcs, tracing the motion with soft attention. Each spark seems to echo the rhythms of your own breath, the gentle rise and fall of your heartbeat, the soft vibrations of the chanting voices around you. The circular temple, the fire, the women, the petals, the faint wind, all merge in a gentle symphony of stillness and motion. Your body begins to feel lighter, your limbs loose, your spine soft yet supported. The sounds of the sacred circle blend with the quiet of your own breath until all becomes a single, serene rhythm. You notice the faint glow of stars through the open ceiling, pinpricks of light against the deep blue of night. They seem to respond to the chants, flickering in soft pulses, mirroring the calm energy of the temple. Each star is a gentle witness, a companion in the quiet, a reminder that even in vastness, peace is possible, that calm can exist alongside wonder. The chanting slowly begins to soften, voices overlapping less, settling into gentle hums that linger in the air like faint perfume. The fire dims, sending one last ripple of warmth across the stones. You feel yourself drifting, carried by the rhythm, the energy, the subtle vibrations that have filled the temple. Your mind floats, calm and open, ready to sink deeper into rest. Now, let us drift onward, leaving behind the temple yet carrying its calm within. Feel the soft echo of the chants lingering in your chest, the gentle hum of vibration in your limbs, the quiet warmth of devotion surrounding your spirit. Let your mind fold into stillness, your body relax completely, and your soul rest, cradled by the sacred circle. Sleep now as the night embraces you, as the stars gaze softly, and as the chants continue, faint and eternal, in the quiet spaces of your heart. Gentle reflections in sacred mirrors reveal stories of inner beauty, courage, and silent wisdom. The Divine Maiden shows us how to see ourselves with kindness and peace. Twilight settles softly over the land, stretching shadows across quiet valleys and gentle hills. You walk along a path that curves through silvered grass, each step cushioned by the soft earth beneath. The air carries a delicate fragrance, warm stone, dew, and faint hints of jasmine. Every breath you take fills your chest slowly, calmly, as if the world itself is breathing alongside you. Ahead, a small temple glimmers in the fading light. Its walls are smooth and pale, adorned with delicate carvings of maidens, stars, and flowing water. Light reflects off the surfaces in soft, muted patterns, as if the stones themselves are holding gentle memories. You approach, drawn by the quiet, welcoming aura, and step inside. The interior is serene, a space designed for stillness and gentle reflection. Mirrors line the circular walls, each framed with intricate carvings of vines, flowers, and moons. Their surfaces glow faintly in the ambient light, reflecting not only the room but also a deeper inner world. You feel the calm energy pulse gently through the space, wrapping around you like a soft cloak. A figure appears before the largest mirror at the center of the room. She is the Divine Maiden, her presence quiet yet radiant, her movements fluid like water. She does not speak aloud, yet a sense of gentle communication flows from her, soft whispers of kindness, courage, and self-recognition. Her reflection mirrors yours, not as it is seen in the world, but as it is felt within, revealing inner light and quiet strength. You drift closer to the mirror, letting your eyes trace the smooth, reflective surface. In it, you see yourself bathed in soft, warm light. Every line, every shadow, every gentle curve of your face is touched with reverence, as if the mirror itself knows the sacredness of your being. The maiden gestures lightly, guiding your gaze to notice not faults or worries, but the calm resilience and gentle beauty that has always been present. Around you, the smaller mirrors shimmer faintly, reflecting fragments of the room in subtle, overlapping patterns. Each fragment carries a story of courage found in silence, of patience in the face of time, of hope preserved like seeds beneath the soil. The reflections ripple like water disturbed by a light breeze, carrying images and feelings softly across your awareness. The maiden moves slowly, tracing her hands along the edges of the central mirror. You feel her touch not physically, but as a quiet warmth that spreads through your chest and into your limbs. She invites you to place your hand against the glass, and as you do, a sensation of calm, of deep understanding passes through you. It is as if the mirror listens, acknowledging your presence, and responds with gentle acceptance. Soft light falls across the temple, mingling with shadows that move like slow dancers on the walls. The reflections shimmer, creating a subtle interplay of brightness and darkness, each a reminder that every soul holds both quiet strength and gentle vulnerability. You float within this space, aware of your breath, of the slow rise and fall of your chest, of the pulse of calm that spreads from your heart into your fingertips and toes. In the mirrors, you notice fleeting images of other sacred spaces, moonlit gardens, still rivers, temples wrapped in mist. Each reflection is a whisper from another place, a quiet echo of devotion and peace. The maiden gestures toward these reflections, and you feel a sense of connection, not only to this room, but to the vast, tender rhythm of the world, to cycles of care and attention, to the gentle weaving of time and spirit. The air carries the faint scent of candles, flickering softly in small alcoves along the walls. Their light dances across the mirrors, creating points of quiet illumination that seem to pulse with the rhythm of your own breath. You inhale slowly, letting the fragrance settle in your chest, and exhale fully, releasing any lingering tension. Each breath is a wave, each exhale a soft letting go. The maiden moves to a small basin of water at the center of the temple. She dips her fingers lightly, and ripples spread across the surface. Each ripple reflects not only light but intention, a reminder that even the smallest gestures create movement and meaning. You watch the patterns expand and fade and feel the same gentle motion within your own consciousness, where thoughts drift lightly, dissolving into calm. Around the temple, shadows of carved vines and moons create quiet patterns that shift with the flickering light. The mirrors catch these patterns, layering them, multiplying them, until the room seems alive with soft geometry. You notice the shapes echoing the rhythms of your breath, the gentle rise and fall of your heartbeat, and the subtle flow of energy through your limbs. The room becomes a sanctuary of presence, where stillness is both space and companion. The Divine Maiden gestures again, inviting you to look deeper into the mirror. This time you notice the spaces between reflections, the gentle silences, the pauses where light and shadow meet. These gaps hold stillness, a quiet assurance that calm exists not only in what is visible, but also in what is hidden, in the spaces where the mind can rest and the spirit can breathe. Your awareness drifts toward the smaller mirrors, where flickers of your own life appear softly, not as memories but as gentle echoes, moments of quiet courage, fleeting kindnesses, simple acts of care. Each reflection carries a gentle warmth, a reminder that your presence in the world has always mattered, even in silence. You allow these images to wash over you, feeling a sense of completeness, of gentle acceptance, of quiet peace. The maiden moves to stand behind you, her presence soft yet grounding. You feel her encouragement, a quiet reassurance that every breath you take, every movement you make is seen and honored. The mirrors reflect not only her figure but also the serene space she creates around you, a space where stillness is cherished and calm is cultivated. A soft breeze enters the temple through an open arch, carrying the faint rustle of leaves and petals from unseen gardens. The air flows around you, gentle and cooling, brushing your cheeks and hands, mingling with the warmth of the room. You inhale slowly, letting the combined presence of air, light, and reflection fill your chest, and exhale, releasing any remaining restlessness. The mirrors now shimmer softly with an inner glow, their surfaces almost liquid, reflecting the light of the candles, the room, and your own inner self. You feel a subtle expansion within, a quiet unfolding, as if the layers of your awareness are settling into calm, one gentle fold at a time. Each reflection is a thread, and each thread weaves a tapestry of serenity and self-recognition. The Divine Maiden's voice is almost a whisper now, not audible with ears but with a sense of knowing. She guides you to see yourself not as the world sees you, not as you judge yourself, but as a being of quiet grace, resilience, and gentle wisdom. You allow the feeling to fill you, softening muscles, easing thoughts, and inviting your mind into a calm, receptive state. The temple hums with quiet energy, each mirror a resonance of light and intention. The central basin reflects the maiden's gentle movements, the flicker of candles, the shimmer of the open sky above. The ripples of the water echo the subtle waves of your own breath, creating a rhythm that is steady, slow, and soothing. You drift with this rhythm, allowing it to carry your consciousness deeper into rest. Shadows lengthen and soften, mingling with the warm light. The reflections in the mirrors grow more diffuse, more tranquil, until the room seems to exist as a single gentle glow. The maiden steps back, allowing you to rest fully in the space, carrying her silent guidance in the calm of your own awareness. Every breath, every heartbeat, every soft sensation becomes a lullaby for the spirit. Now, let us drift onward, leaving behind the mirrors, yet carrying their gentle lessons within. Feel the quiet strength of the Divine Maiden, the soft reflections of kindness, courage, and wisdom in your own being. Let your body rest completely, your mind settle fully, and your spirit float, cradled by the sacred light of inner calm. Sleep now, as the night envelops you, as the reflections soften, and as the gentle presence of the Divine Maiden continues to watch over your peace. The warmth of the hearth carries whispers of home, sanctuary, and devotion. Ancient women maintained these sacred flames, and their calm energy embraces our hearts tonight. Twilight lingers at the edges of the horizon, soft and quiet, as you walk along a winding stone path. The air is cool, yet filled with a gentle warmth that hints at fires nearby. You hear the distant whisper of water over smooth stones, and the soft rustle of leaves stirred by evening winds. Each step feels like a slow breath, grounding you, inviting you to release the tensions of the day. Ahead, the entrance of a small temple glows with faint golden light. The door is open, welcoming as if it has been waiting for you. The soft aroma of burning incense drifts through the air, carrying the memory of flowers and resin, of earth warmed by fire. You step inside and feel the subtle shift of temperature, from the coolness of the outside to the gentle warmth that embraces this sacred space. The hearth rests in the center of the room, a simple stone basin filled with burning coals and quiet flames. They flicker softly, dancing in slow, deliberate patterns. Each movement casts gentle shadows on the walls, weaving light and darkness together in a calm rhythm. The flames feel alive, yet not wild, controlled, steady, and nurturing. They are tended by the presence of the divine feminine, by women who understood the sacredness of fire as both guardian and companion. Around the hearth, the temple is simple yet profound. Wooden beams arch overhead, etched with delicate carvings of vines and blossoms. Stone floors are smooth beneath your feet, worn by the steps of countless pilgrims. Yet each step adds warmth to the space. Candles line the walls in small niches, their flames flickering like quiet stars, reflecting off copper vessels and polished stones. A woman appears near the hearth. She moves slowly, gracefully, carrying a small bundle of kindling. Her presence is calm and luminous, and with each movement the room seems to breathe more softly. She places the wood carefully upon the coals, and the flames rise just a little higher, illuminating her serene face. You feel her care, her patience, and her devotion as if it flows directly into your own chest. The crackle of the fire is gentle, rhythmic, like a heartbeat. You settle near the hearth, letting its warmth brush against your skin, soothing and steadying. The smell of smoke mingles with the fragrance of nearby flowers and herbs, and you notice how the scents carry memories, not of things long past, but of calm moments and quiet attentiveness. The air itself seems to hold stories of devotion, whispered by the women who have tended this flame across countless nights. Your eyes follow the flickering flames as they dance. Some flickers rise high, then settle back down, and some stay small and steady, shining like tiny, unwavering stars. Each flame seems to mirror a quiet part of your own being, the part that seeks stillness, warmth, and gentle care. You feel the rhythm of the fire syncing with your own breathing, slow and deep. Each inhale and exhale a soft wave that carries you further into calm. The woman kneels by the hearth, her hands brushing the stones as she adjusts the embers. She moves with intention, each motion deliberate and serene, as if even the smallest gesture holds meaning. She does not speak, yet her presence communicates something tender. That devotion is quiet, that care can be simple, and that warmth, both of body and of heart, can be shared without words. Across the room, smaller flames flicker within clay lamps. Their light reaches the corners, revealing carvings of women, flowers, and sacred symbols. The shadows that move alongside the flames seem alive, weaving stories of patience, resilience, and quiet strength. You watch them dance, knowing that each shadow is a companion, a gentle witness to your own unfolding calm. The hearth seems to pulse softly, as though it is breathing alongside you. You place your hands near the warm stones, feeling their gentle heat seep into your fingers. Each contact carries a sense of rootedness, a connection to the earth beneath, to the fire that has been tended for generations, to the continuity of care that transcends time. You allow this warmth to flow through your body, softening muscles, easing thoughts, and filling you with a sense of calm presence. From the hearth, the flames send tiny sparks upward. They drift like glowing seeds into the air, lingering before fading softly into the space. You follow their paths with your eyes, letting each tiny movement carry you deeper into relaxation. Every flicker is a reminder that light can be gentle, steady, and nurturing. That fire need not rush or blaze wildly. It can simply hold space, offering comfort and quiet reflection. The woman tends the fire with quiet concentration, moving in a slow, meditative rhythm. She adds small pieces of wood, adjusts the embers, and occasionally brushes ashes gently to the side. Every movement feels like a soft lullaby, a rhythm designed to settle the mind and spirit. You find yourself following her movements with your attention, not in thought, but in feeling, letting each gesture bring calm waves through your consciousness. Above the hearth, smoke rises in delicate spirals, curling toward the high beams of the ceiling. It carries the aroma of burned wood and incense, but also a quiet sense of continuity. You notice how each spiral is unique, yet follows a path shaped by unseen currents. In this way, the fire becomes a teacher, showing that even in gentle surrender, there is order, flow, and grace. You let your thoughts drift like the smoke, moving slowly upward, dissolving into calm openness. The woman reaches for a small vessel of water beside the hearth. She sprinkles a few drops over the coals, causing soft, hissing sparks to rise and shimmer. The sound is delicate, like distant rain falling on warm earth. It is a gentle contrast to the warmth of the flames, a reminder that balance exists in softness and stillness, that care is both active and receptive, both nurturing and yielding. You breathe in this balance, letting it settle softly within. Candles along the walls flicker in tandem with the hearth, as if recognizing the rhythm of the central fire. Their light spreads slowly, revealing hidden carvings and textures in the stone. Walls that have been shaped by hands that long ago sought the same calm. Each flame, small and contained, contributes to the whole, creating an environment of steady illumination. You feel yourself encompassed in this circle of warmth and light, a sanctuary for both body and spirit. The woman rises slowly, her gaze lingering on the fire. She steps back, giving space for you to feel the fullness of the hearth's presence. The heat and light embrace you, carrying whispers of home, of quiet devotion, and of gentle protection. You notice how the flames seem to reach out to you, not as something to control or dominate, but as a soft presence that invites rest and reflection. As you sit quietly, the temple seems to expand, filled with soft echoes of long-ago voices, women who have tended these flames for countless nights. You sense their calm energy flowing through the room, through the stones, through the air itself. The warmth touches your hands, your cheeks, your chest, and slowly spreads to the edges of your mind, easing tension and inviting deep rest. Each flicker of the fire becomes a heartbeat, each soft crackle a gentle note of reassurance. You allow yourself to merge with this rhythm, letting the steady presence of light and warmth carry you into stillness. Your muscles release, your thoughts slow. Your spirit finds gentle buoyancy within the calm energy of the hearth. Soft shadows and light continue to dance around you, creating patterns that seem to breathe with the pulse of your own awareness. The warmth fills every corner of your body, each flicker and shadow teaching patience, offering comfort and guiding the mind toward quietude. You float in this gentle space, suspended between light and dark, warmth and stillness, finding a sanctuary within yourself. The woman kneels once more by the fire, offering a silent gesture of blessing. You feel the gesture not with your eyes, but with your chest and spirit, a quiet assurance that you are held, that devotion and care surround you, that even in silence, warmth persists. Your mind softens, your heart opens, and your consciousness drifts in gentle waves of peace. Now, let us drift onward from the hearth, carrying its warmth within. Let the soft flames of devotion, patience, and gentle care remain in your heart. Your body rests, your mind settles, and your spirit floats, cradled by the tender light and slow rhythm of the sacred fire. Sleep now as the night deepens, as the flames continue to flicker quietly, and as your awareness softens into calm, endless rest. As dawn breaks over sacred mountains, soft bells call the spirit to awaken gently. Women of these cults rang them with reverence, teaching us to greet life with peace. The first light of morning brushes the mountaintops with delicate hues of gold and rose. You float along a narrow path carved into stone, surrounded by mist that softens the edges of cliffs and trees. Each step feels cushioned by quiet air, as though the mountains themselves exhale softly beneath your feet. The world is hushed, waiting, and the stillness carries a tender invitation to be present, to listen, and to awaken slowly. Above you, the sky is softening, pale and luminous. Clouds drift lazily, carrying the last shadow of night. A gentle breeze rustles through pine branches, bringing the subtle scent of earth and dew. Somewhere, hidden among the trees, water trickles over rocks, whispering a secret melody, a song as old as the mountains themselves. You inhale the cool, fragrant air, letting it fill your chest with quiet calm. In the distance, a bell sounds, clear and tender. It is not loud or urgent, but soft, resonating through the valleys and across the slopes. Each note vibrates slowly, like a gentle wave touching the heart. You pause, allowing the sound to settle within you, and feel your own spirit responding in quiet harmony. The bell is a call, not to hurry, not to act, but to awaken gently, fully, with presence and reverence. Ahead, you see a small temple nestled among the cliffs, its stones warmed by the first rays of the sun. Smoke curls from a low hearth inside, and the faint smell of incense mingles with the freshness of the morning air. The temple is quiet, yet alive with unseen energy. You sense the presence of women who have tended this place, ringing the bells for countless dawns, their devotion threading through time like a subtle current, still palpable in the stones themselves. You enter the temple. Light spills softly across carved wooden beams and polished floors. The walls are etched with images of mountains, trees, rivers, and sacred symbols, each line carrying care, intention, and reverence. The air feels warmer here, and the calm energy of the space flows around you, settling softly in your shoulders, your chest, your mind. Near the center, a cluster of small bells hangs from a simple frame. Each bell is smooth and cool to the touch, yet vibrant with potential. You notice the woman who tends them, her movements slow, deliberate, and full of gentle care. She lifts a bell and allows it to ring, and the sound drifts like a whispering wind, resonating deep within the temple, touching every corner. Each note is soft, musical, and sacred, a reminder that awakening need not be sudden or sharp, but tender, deliberate, and full of awareness. The woman rings each bell in turn, letting the vibration settle before touching the next. The sound lingers, echoing across beams and walls, wrapping the space in calm resonance. You notice how your own breathing syncs with the rhythm of the bells, each inhale and exhale flowing like the reverberation of sound through air and stone. Your chest rises and falls slowly, matching the gentle cadence of awakening. Outside, the sun begins to stretch its light down the mountain slopes. Mist lifts gradually, revealing a soft tapestry of trees, rocks, and streams. Shadows retreat gently, and the warmth of early sunlight caresses the skin. The temple and its bells exist between night and day, between rest and wakefulness, teaching the mind the grace of moving from stillness into presence without haste. The woman pauses, her hands resting lightly on the largest bell. She closes her eyes, and the silence is deep, sacred. Even in the absence of sound, the energy of the bell remains. Its memory in the air, in the stones, in your own body. You feel the resonance inside you, a gentle vibration that radiates from your chest to your fingertips, your toes, and the tips of your hair. It is as though your spirit is breathing with the mountain itself, slowly waking, slowly stretching. You move closer to the hearth, where a small fire burns steadily. The warmth rises in gentle waves, touching your hands, your face, your shoulders. The firelight dances in delicate flickers, creating subtle shadows that move in time with the bells, each movement quiet and purposeful. You feel the calm energy of devotion here, both active and meditative, tending the sacred space with care and presence. The woman lifts a small bowl of water, letting a few drops fall over the coals. A soft hiss rises, merging with the lingering echoes of the bells. The sound is tender, like morning rain falling on warm earth. The combination of fire, water, and sound carries a profound calm, as if every element is cooperating to awaken the senses slowly, fully, without rush. You allow your attention to settle on these elements, feeling each subtle sensation ripple through your consciousness. The bells ring again, this time in a soft, overlapping harmony. Each tone rises and falls, weaving a gentle tapestry of sound that touches the mind like a soft wind brushing the skin. You notice how each note is unique, yet part of the whole, just as every breath and heartbeat is part of the larger rhythm of being. You feel a wave of serenity wash over you, as if the temple itself is breathing alongside you, inviting you to awaken with grace, patience, and softness. Outside the temple, birds stir in the trees. Their morning songs are delicate and quiet, harmonizing naturally with the bells. You hear the distant trill of a small flock, the gentle rustle of wings and the soft brush of leaves. These sounds are subtle companions to the bells, reminders that the world awakens not in clamor but in gentle, intentional rhythm. Your spirit stretches in unison with these morning sounds, feeling the peace of slow, mindful awakening. The woman moves among the bells, lifting each with reverence, letting each note linger in the air before gently releasing it. Her movements are a meditation, a dance without hurry, a prayer in sound and motion. You watch, breathing with the same rhythm, and feel your mind become quieter with each passing moment. The day has begun, yet it begins without urgency, without abruptness. It begins in harmony, in awareness, and in gentle, deliberate presence. Sunlight spills further into the temple, brushing the beams, the carvings, the polished floors. Each ray illuminates dust motes that float lazily in the air, catching the light as they drift. They shimmer like tiny stars, small reminders of the sacredness in subtle, quiet things. You allow your vision to soften, your thoughts to slow, and your awareness to rest in the delicate beauty of these morning moments. The bells sound again, softer now, each note fading like a whisper. The woman pauses, her hands resting lightly, as if waiting for something unseen. You feel that waiting in your own body, the gentle pause before action, the soft space that allows reflection, awareness, and calm to settle. It is in these pauses that the deepest peace exists, and you sink into it, letting the rhythm of life flow through you slowly, quietly, fully. The fire at the hearth casts gentle shadows on the walls. The light flickers softly, moving in harmony with the subtle vibrations of the bells. You notice how the smallest details, the curve of a carved symbol, the smoothness of a wooden beam, the quiet sparkle of rising smoke, draw your attention without demanding it. You feel your mind soften further, letting the space around you cradle you in gentle awareness. Outside, the mountains glow more warmly as the sun rises higher. The mist has lifted almost entirely, leaving a serene landscape bathed in soft morning light. Streams sparkle, rocks warm under the gentle rays, and leaves shimmer as the breeze dances through them. This landscape, like the bells in the temple, embodies a calm awakening, a movement from night into day that is deliberate, slow, and nurturing. You sense that same rhythm within yourself, a quiet alignment with the world as it stirs into life. The woman rings the largest bell once more. The tone resonates fully, filling the temple with deep, soft vibration. You feel it reverberate through your chest, your spine, every nerve and muscle relaxing into the sound. Each echo lingers in the space, not fading too quickly, but remaining long enough to carry you deeper into serenity. Your mind floats on this vibration, releasing all tension, all hurry, all thought that is not gentle and present. You sit quietly, observing the subtle dance of light, fire, and sound. Each element carries lessons in softness, patience, and awareness. You feel gratitude for this quiet awakening, this space held by devotion, by care, and by the gentle hands of those who have tended these sacred bells across generations. You allow the warmth, the sound, and the light to fill you, grounding you in presence, in calm, in gentle peace. The final bell rings, soft and lingering. Its tone slowly fades into silence, yet the sense of calm remains. You feel it within your chest, spreading outward in slow waves. The fire continues to burn, steady and soft. The sunlight continues to move across the temple, and the world outside gently awakens. You breathe in harmony with this rhythm, knowing that your own spirit has been called to life, not hurriedly, but with deliberate gentleness, just as the dawn itself rises slowly over the sacred mountains. Now, let us drift onward, carrying the sound of soft bells in our hearts. Let the warmth of devotion, the calm of the fire, and the tender presence of dawn remain within. Sleep, awareness, and peace mingle together, and the spirit floats in harmony with the mountains, the bells, and the gentle unfolding of a new day. Let your body rest, your mind soften, and your heart be held in the tender, awakening light. Through spiraling temples and sacred symbols, we follow the journey of life, cycles, and divine feminine wisdom. The spirals guide our minds into slow, restful rhythms. The first light of dawn spills softly across the horizon, touching the spirals carved into stone with gentle gold. You float along a narrow path winding through quiet gardens, where morning mist curls around the bases of carved pillars. Each step feels cushioned, as if the earth itself is offering a soft welcome. A gentle breeze moves through the trees, rustling leaves in subtle whispers, carrying the scent of dew, moss, and distant flowers. The air is calm, sacred, waiting, and you feel the invitation to move slowly, to breathe fully, and to awaken gradually into presence. Above, the sky softens from deep indigo to pale rose, and the first birds stretch their wings in muted songs. Their voices are not loud or urgent, but gentle, like distant memories stirring from sleep. You notice the curve of the spirals ahead, temples shaped in circles within circles, each turn a quiet reminder of cycles and movement, of beginnings and endings woven together. The spirals seem alive, breathing with the rhythm of time itself, inviting your mind to settle into their motion. You step closer to the first spiral. The stone under your fingertips is cool and smooth, worn by generations who touched it in reverence. Each turn of the spiral is slow, deliberate, a visual chant that carries the wisdom of life. You run your hand along the curve, feeling the gentle ascent and descent, and sense the quiet story of womanhood embedded in each groove. These stones have witnessed cycles of life, moments of joy, sorrow, birth, growth, and quiet reflection. You let the calm of this awareness settle in your chest, like a warm, steady heartbeat. In the center of the spiral, a small altar holds candles that flicker softly in the morning light. Their flames are steady, gentle, and unhurried. The woman tending them moves with deliberate grace, her hands brushing the air as if weaving blessings into each flicker of light. The glow touches her face softly, illuminating lines that speak of care, wisdom, and quiet devotion. You feel a sense of calm wash over you, a deepening awareness that life's cycles, like the spiral, do not rush but unfold with patient grace. Around the spiral, carved symbols tell stories of birth and growth, of seasons, of rivers that wind like veins through the land. You notice how each curve of stone reflects a gentle rhythm, soft circular movements that mirror the pulse of the earth. You breathe with the spiral, letting your thoughts slow, letting your mind trace each curve with the softness of awareness rather than the sharpness of thought. The spiral is not just stone. It is a teacher, a guide, a companion in stillness. The woman lifts a bell, small and delicate, and lets it ring once, twice. The sound floats through the spiral, carrying a vibration that travels along the curves of the stone, touching each carving, each shadow, each flicker of candlelight. You feel the resonance within yourself, as if the spiral and the bell are aligned with your own breath and heartbeat. Each note lingers, then softens, creating a gentle ebb and flow that mirrors the quiet rhythm of life itself. Outside, the gardens begin to awaken. Dew glistens on petals and leaves, reflecting the soft light like tiny stars scattered across the earth. The spiral seems to extend beyond the temple walls, flowing into the natural cycles of growth and decay, of night into day, of one season into another. You feel yourself moving through this spiral not with haste, but in gentle alignment, letting each curve guide your awareness into calm contemplation. The woman lights a small incense stick and sets it near the altar. The smoke curls upward in slow, elegant spirals, mingling with the shapes carved in stone. Its fragrance is soft, earthy, a quiet reminder of the cycles of life and the presence of the divine feminine. You inhale gently, letting the scent fill your lungs, settling in your chest, grounding your mind in calm, gentle awareness. Each wisp of smoke seems to tell a story of patience, growth, and quiet resilience, teaching you the same soft lessons in stillness. The spiral continues upward, leading to a higher platform where more candles and small bells rest. You follow its gentle ascent, each step feeling natural, unhurried, and meditative. The movement itself becomes a prayer, each footfall echoing softly against the stone, blending with the faint ringing of distant bells. You notice how the spiral's ascent mirrors the unfolding of life, the slow accumulation of moments, the quiet growth of understanding, the gentle unfolding of awareness. At the top of the spiral, you pause. The view stretches outward over valleys and rivers, soft hills bathed in morning light. The world seems vast, yet intimately tender, a reflection of the cycles you have traced within the spiral. You feel a connection to all that moves and breathes, to the seasons and the stars, to the flow of life and the passage of time. This high vantage, reached without haste, mirrors the inner heights of reflection and calm, achieved through patient attention and gentle awareness. The woman moves among the candles, her hands brushing over their flames, letting each flicker hold the energy of devotion. She lifts a bell and lets it ring once more. The vibration travels along the stone spiral, echoing outward, filling the air with resonance that seems to touch the earth, the sky, and your own inner spirit simultaneously. Each note is soft, circular, and continuous, like the turning of the spiral itself. You notice how the sound settles into your mind, smoothing the edges of thought, softening the tension in your shoulders, and inviting deep, calm breathing. Around the spiral, carved symbols depict the moon, the sun, the cycles of water, and the growth of plants. Each carving seems to pulse softly with life, as if the stone remembers the touch of generations who moved along this path. You place your hand lightly on one, feeling its smooth surface and the gentle rise and fall of each curve. You sense the lessons embedded there, cycles of change, quiet patience, and the nurturing presence of the feminine divine. Your mind begins to mirror the spiral, turning slowly, effortlessly, aligning with the gentle rhythm of life. The morning breeze moves through the temple, carrying the scent of flowers and earth, blending with the smoke of incense and the warmth of candles. It brushes your skin softly, and you feel a sense of harmony between your breath, your heartbeat, and the natural movements around you. The spiral has guided you to this awareness. Life unfolds slowly, deliberately, and with grace. You allow yourself to drift in this realization, feeling each curve of the spiral resonate within your spirit. The woman rings the final bell, small and delicate. The tone lingers in the air like a soft caress, traveling along each curve of the spiral, through each symbol, and into your own awareness. You feel the vibration deep within your chest, expanding outward to fill your limbs and your mind. The spiral's message is clear. Life moves in gentle cycles, each turn a quiet lesson, each moment an opportunity to awaken softly, fully, and without hurry. You look down the spiral now, tracing its curves with your eyes. Each turn is a memory, a moment, a reflection of inner wisdom. You notice the spaces between the curves, the pauses, the gentle rests. These too are sacred, the intervals of stillness that allow growth, understanding, and presence to emerge. You breathe in rhythm with the spiral, softening your body, quieting your mind, and letting your spirit float along the gentle arcs of stone. The sun rises higher, illuminating the carvings, the candles, and the smoke in soft golden light. You feel a deep sense of peace, carried not by sound or movement, but by the gentle wisdom embedded in stone, flame, and the turning of the spiral. The world around you moves slowly, deliberately, just as your own awareness now flows in harmony with the cycles of life. The woman steps back, hands folded, allowing the space to rest in quiet reverence. You sense the continuity of devotion, the gentle passing of lessons through generations. Each curve of the spiral, each sound of the bells, each flicker of flame carries an echo of those who have walked this path before, guiding you into calm, restful awareness. You feel yourself part of this flow, moving through the cycles of life with gentle attention and soft presence. Now, let us drift onward, carried by the spiral's gentle rhythm. Let the curves of stone, the soft bells, the flickering candles, and the morning light guide our minds into stillness. Let each breath rise and fall in alignment with the quiet cycles of life, and feel the peace of patient, deliberate awakening settle within. The spiral continues, infinite and calm, carrying the wisdom of womanhood, the cycles of time, and the gentle, sacred rhythm of being. Rest here in this awareness, letting your body soften, your mind quiet, and your heart open. Let the spiral cradle you, turning slowly, carrying you into gentle sleep. Now rest as the stars and sun continue their dance above, as the sacred curves of life move ever onward, and as your spirit floats gently along the quiet, eternal spiral of time and womanhood. Soft petals drift across sacred pools, carrying prayers and serenity. The gentle motion mirrors the quiet flow of breath and thought, lulling us closer to sleep. The evening light stretches across the horizon, soft and warm, settling gently on the surface of a still pool. You float along the edge of this sacred water, where lilies and delicate blossoms touch the surface without a sound. Each petal seems to glide with purpose, carrying prayers from long ago, whispered by women who once walked these shores. The air is calm, filled with the scent of water, earth, and flowers, moving slowly through your senses like a lullaby. Above, the first stars appear, shy and faint, reflected in the water as if they had come down to rest among the petals. You notice how each petal drifts in subtle circles, touching one another softly, a gentle choreography of light and motion. It reminds you of breath, slow, measured, carrying life quietly through your body. The pool is a mirror of stillness, and you feel yourself settling into its reflection, letting the calm rise from your chest and flow outward. The soft murmur of distant water adds a gentle rhythm. Small ripples travel across the pool, brushing the petals in tender waves. Each ripple moves with deliberate slowness, never rushing, never abrupt, like the passage of time itself when viewed through a lens of patience. You imagine the hands that once placed these petals upon the water, the quiet devotion behind each gesture. They reach through time, connecting you to a lineage of reverent care, soft and unobtrusive, like a whisper carried by the wind. A woman kneels at the water's edge, her hands cupped as she sets petals upon the surface. Her movements are slow, flowing with a natural grace, as though the petals themselves guide her touch. Each blossom floats effortlessly, spinning slightly, coming to rest gently against others. The motion is hypnotic, a calm reminder that life like water, moves softly and with rhythm. You follow each petal's journey, feeling your thoughts settle in alignment with their quiet passage. The water reflects the deepening sky, fading from amber to soft indigo. Moonlight begins to touch the petals with pale silver, tracing delicate outlines, giving each flower a gentle glow. You imagine the pool as a vast living tapestry, a canvas for stillness, where prayers drift alongside petals and time itself slows to a measured breath. The breeze moves softly across your skin, carrying the faint scent of jasmine and water lilies. It brushes gently like a hand guiding you toward rest, toward the gentle edge of awareness. In the distance, the faint sound of a bell echoes through the garden. It is low and round, its vibration spreading slowly, touching the petals, the water, the stones, and finally, your own chest. You feel the resonance sink in, like a wave of warmth, smoothing the mind, loosening the tension in your shoulders, in your jaw, in the spaces where you hold quiet strain. The bell fades gradually, leaving behind a soft hum that joins the rhythm of the water, the petals, and the gentle movement of your own breath. A soft drizzle begins, tiny droplets falling onto the pool, creating concentric circles that meet and expand across the petals. The drops make no sound, only a gentle disturbance of surface, a reminder that even small changes flow gracefully within the cycle of life. Each ripple flows outward, merging with another, tracing quiet patterns that feel infinite, as though each circle carries a secret blessing. You watch, entranced, allowing your own mind to ripple in synchrony, thoughts softening, ebbing, and blending into the calm. The woman dips her hands into the water again, gathering a few petals and releasing them slowly. One by one they float and spin, touching one another softly, forming quiet clusters, then separating again. You notice how no petal resists the flow. There is no hurry, no conflict. Only gentle movement and trust in the water's guidance. You let this thought settle, to move gently through life, to trust the currents, and to embrace the stillness between the moments. Dragonflies hover above the pool, their wings glinting in the dim light. They move with delicate precision, tracing arcs above the petals, never disturbing, only observing. Their presence is subtle yet purposeful, a quiet reminder of the beauty and careful attention. You feel your awareness widen slightly, like the soft opening of a flower, noticing the tiny details. The interweaving of life and water, wind and petal, moonlight and shadow. Soft candlelight flickers along the edges of the pool, placed in shallow bowls. Each flame reflects on the water, mingling with petals and moonlight. You watch the reflections dance in slow, gentle patterns, as if the pool itself were breathing. Your chest rises and falls in harmony with the movement, each exhale carrying away tension, each inhale inviting serenity. The world feels balanced, quiet, and safe, as if the pool holds all worries within its gentle curves. The woman places a single white lotus at the center of the pool. Its petals are open, perfect and calm. Around it, other blossoms slowly circle, carried by invisible currents. You feel the energy of the flowers spreading outward, like warmth through the water, touching each petal, each ripple, each breath you take. The lotus embodies patience, clarity, and quiet strength, a soft echo of the divine feminine, a gentle teacher of stillness. Dragonflies land lightly on the petals, their tiny legs barely disturbing the surface. Their presence is almost imperceptible, yet their movement seems to guide the petals' flow. You watch as the petals drift together and apart, forming soft, circular dances. Your mind follows the motion, thoughts slowing, settling into quiet observation. Each movement, though subtle, carries meaning, a lesson in patience, a call to awareness, a gentle embrace of life's ebb and flow. The water deepens in color as night fully settles. Stars shimmer above, mirrored perfectly in the calm surface. You feel a connection between the heavens and the pool, between the petals and the cosmos. The circular patterns in the water echo the cycles of the moon, of life, of breath itself. The spiral of each petal mirrors the infinite cycles that move around and within you, guiding you softly into rest. A light wind passes, carrying the petals along in slow arcs. Some spin gently, some drift silently, all moving without effort. You allow your attention to float among them, tracing each petal's subtle path, feeling your own consciousness expanding and slowing with the rhythm of the water. There is no hurry, there is no need, only the soft presence of petals, water, light, and breath. The woman kneels at the edge, hands folded, and hums softly. Her voice blends with the whispers of the water, the flutter of dragonfly wings, and the faint rustle of leaves. The melody is circular, repeating, soft and unhurried. You let it wash over you, each note drawing your awareness inward toward calm, toward the still center that exists in every quiet breath. The petals continue to drift, turning slowly, colliding lightly, then moving apart. Each ripple, each turn, each soft collision carries a subtle message. The gentle rhythm of life, the quiet unfolding of each moment, the calm acceptance of what is. You feel your own thoughts becoming as light and fluid as the petals, floating without effort, circling without stress, softening with each passing second. The candles flicker and bend slightly in the wind, reflections dancing alongside the petals on the water. Moonlight touches each flower, outlining its curve with silver. You notice the quiet balance between light and shadow, movement and stillness, sound and silence. Each element moves with calm precision, and your mind follows, allowing tension to dissolve, allowing rest to deepen. Finally, the woman rises, stepping back slowly. The pool is quiet, filled with drifting petals, gentle ripples, and soft reflections of stars. You feel a deep sense of calm settling in your chest, your limbs, your mind. Each breath aligns with the gentle motion of the water, each exhale softening into rest, each inhale carrying serenity into your body. Let us drift onward, carried by the motion of petals, water, and moonlight. Let each ripple, each whisper of wind, each flicker of flame guide your mind into stillness. Let the soft cycles of nature teach patience, presence, and serenity. Feel yourself floating with the petals, letting each one carry away a fragment of tension, leaving only quiet, gentle awareness. Now rest, as the petals drift endlessly across the sacred pool, as the water continues its silent motion, and as your breath aligns softly with the eternal rhythm of tranquility. Allow your body to sink, your thoughts to calm, and your spirit to float gently on this serene, timeless current. We close our journey with the tender presence of the Divine Sister, whose soft guidance brings closure, warmth, and peace. The final light whispers a lullaby, inviting restful dreams. The evening sky stretches wide above the quiet valley, tinged with soft purples and pale gold. You walk slowly along a path of smooth stones, each step cushioned by the gentle grass that bends beneath your feet. The air carries a faint sweetness, the quiet fragrance of wildflowers and earth settling into the night. All around, the world feels softened, as if held in a gentle hand, free from haste, free from worry. Above, the first stars of evening begin to shimmer, faint at first, then more distinctly, like tiny lanterns in the vast sky. The light of each star mirrors a calm memory, a soft reassurance, and you sense the presence of the Divine Sister nearby, her essence like the glow of a lantern guiding you along a serene path. She does not speak, but her presence hums quietly, a subtle warmth that fills the spaces of your mind and body. You follow the path to a quiet grove, where slender trees form a gentle arch overhead. The leaves rustle softly, whispering secrets only the night and the wind understand. Here, a small pool rests among the stones, reflecting the sky, the stars, and the faint glimmer of a single candle flickering nearby. Its flame is delicate yet steady, a symbol of the enduring light that the Divine Sister carries within her, soft and unwavering. A breeze drifts over the water, sending tiny ripples across its surface. You watch as the reflection of the candlelight bends and moves, mingling with the stars above. Each ripple carries a gentle lesson. Life flows slowly, like water, and even the smallest motion can create waves of calm that reach far beyond what is seen. You feel yourself exhaling slowly, releasing the tension you carried with you, letting your breath merge with the quiet rhythm of the grove. The Divine Sister appears at the edge of the pool, her steps light upon the soft moss. Her presence is soothing, like a familiar lullaby heard long ago. She moves with grace, placing a hand lightly upon the water's surface. Tiny ripples form and spread outward, touching the edges of the pool and the stones around it. Each ripple is a whisper, a gentle reminder that even the smallest gesture can hold power, and that patience and calm can transform every moment. Soft petals drift on the surface of the water, carried by invisible currents. They circle slowly, merging and separating, tracing quiet patterns in the pool. You notice how the petals do not fight the flow, but yield to it, floating in harmony with the rhythm of water and wind. You allow your own mind to drift in the same way, thoughts becoming soft, circling gently, untangled, and free. The Divine Sister kneels beside the pool, gathering a few petals in her hands. She lifts them, releasing them one by one, each petal floating with purpose yet effortless, as if guided by unseen hands. Their motion is hypnotic, each turn, each spin, a quiet celebration of grace and simplicity. You follow their journey with your mind, feeling each gentle movement echo through your own body, slowing your heartbeat, softening your muscles, and inviting a deep calm. A distant bell rings softly through the grove, its tone round and warm. The sound travels over stones, water, and leaves, resonating through your chest. You feel the vibration settle gently inside, dissolving lingering restlessness. It is a sound of presence, of quiet devotion, of the Divine Sister's attention reaching across time and space to meet you here. The echo fades gradually, leaving only a tender silence that hums like a soft cloud around your mind. Above the trees, the moon rises slowly, casting pale silver across the grove. Its light touches the petals, the water, and the Divine Sister's gentle figure. Shadows bend and stretch, creating patterns that are both familiar and otherworldly. You sense that the moonlight itself is a blessing, a quiet signal to rest, to breathe, and to trust the rhythm of night. Each inhalation draws in the calm of the grove. Each exhalation releases any remaining tension, leaving only stillness. The Divine Sister traces a hand through the water, and the ripples form subtle circles that expand and fade. Around her, the air seems to shimmer with quiet energy, a presence that is soft but undeniable. You feel the warmth of her guidance wrap around your shoulders, settling into your chest. You notice that you do not need to move, to act, or to think. Here, in this gentle light, everything is complete. Everything is as it should be. The petals continue their slow dance on the water. One drifts closer to the edge, another spins gently around a circle, and another floats still in the moonlight. Each one carries a prayer, a memory, a wish whispered long ago. You imagine the Divine Sister gathering these whispers, holding them with care, allowing them to flow naturally into the rhythm of life. You let your own thoughts become like these petals, light, untethered, drifting freely on the water of your mind. Soft wings brush nearby, small birds resting among the trees. They move with quiet precision, hopping and turning without a sound. You watch them settle gently, mirroring the calm of the grove. Their presence is almost imperceptible, yet it reinforces the quiet understanding that life, in all its forms, carries its own pace. You feel your own breathing align with this pace, slow and even, steady and natural. The Divine Sister stands now, her hands resting lightly on the sides of the pool. She lifts her face toward the moon, allowing its silver glow to touch her features. You notice the softness of her gaze, the calm in her posture, the quiet certainty in her presence. She does not rush. She does not urge. She simply is, and her being is enough. In that moment, you feel a sense of completeness, as if all your wandering thoughts have returned to a place of gentle safety. Tiny stars twinkle in the sky, mirrored in the water's surface. The petals drift slowly, and a faint breeze carries the scent of jasmine and moss. You sense the Divine Sister moving toward the edge of the grove, and though she does not speak, you feel her encouragement. Rest, breathe, trust. Her presence remains like the echo of a lullaby, the soft warmth of a hearth, the gentle pull of the moonlight guiding you to the edge of dreams. A soft shimmer appears across the water, the petals reflecting the stars and candlelight together in a quiet dance. You watch the delicate motion, feeling your own mind mirror the flow. Thoughts spin gently and fade, worries dissolve, and the calm deepens, settling around your chest and shoulders. The Divine Sister's light seems to fold around you, protective and soft, inviting you into the slow, restful rhythm of night. The bell sounds again, distant and round, reminding you of cycles, of beginnings and endings, of the quiet continuity that exists beyond the rush of time. Each note lingers in the air, touching the petals, the pool, the trees, and your mind. You sense that the Divine Sister is guiding these moments, showing you that closure can be gentle, and that rest is a natural part of life's rhythm. Petals gather slowly near the edge of the pool, forming a soft cluster. Their motion is hypnotic and slow, encouraging your awareness to align with the stillness of the grove. You feel yourself sinking deeper into comfort, letting your breath carry you into harmony with the petals, with the water, with the tender presence of the Divine Sister. Each inhale brings serenity. Each exhale releases tension. Finally, the Divine Sister kneels once more beside the pool, placing a single luminous petal at the center. Its glow is soft, radiant but gentle, and it seems to pulse in time with your heart. The grove, the moon, the water, and the petals all seem to bow to this last light, holding the space with quiet reverence. You sense the culmination of the journey, the gentle closure of all paths, the soft invitation to dream. Let us drift onward, carried by the last light, by the petals, by the quiet rhythm of water and moon. Let the warmth of the Divine Sister's presence cradle your mind. Let the gentle reflections on the water mirror your breath, slow, even, and calm. Allow every ripple, every petal, every whisper of the grove to guide you into softness, into rest. Now rest as the stars return above, as the candlelight flickers quietly, and as the petals float endlessly across the sacred pool. Let the last light of the Divine Sister illuminate your dreams, carrying you safely into sleep, into the gentle unfolding of night, into the serenity of all that is calm, still, and peaceful.